The school beauty had just had a big fight with me, but the next day, I disappeared. From that day on, it was as if I had vanished from her life. Neither classmates nor teachers knew where I had gone. It wasn't until she went to my house looking for me that she discovered my family had already moved away. In the end, with no other choice, she cried and begged her father to use his connections to check my ID information at the police station. The result was that no such person could be found. At that moment, there was only one thought in Lin Qingxue's mind: that the boy she loved was already dead. For 3 years, she firmly believed this. 3 years later, I returned after successfully completing a national research mission. I learned that Lin Qingxue was studying at Kyoto University to make up for the regrets of our high school days. Even though I could have become a professor at Sinhu, I chose instead to join Kyoto University and became a freshman there. Kyoto University, Finance Department freshman reception desk. Lin Qingxue, wearing a white dress, sat calmly on a chair at the reception desk. She simply sat there quietly. Yet she attracted many passing freshmen and their admiring gazes. Li Qian, who stood beside Lin Qingxue, smiled at her. "Qingxue, you really are the universally recognized #1 campus beauty at our university. Just look at those new junior boys. The moment they see you, their eyes light up. I guarantee, once the freshman registration ends, who knows how many freshmen will start asking around the campus about you." Lin Qingxue replied calmly, "Let them. Anyway, I'm not interested in dating. Compared with dating those people, I'd rather spend time with you good friends, going to the lakeside of Wyoming Lake to enjoy the breeze together. Or go outside the north gate of campus to the snack street and have some late-night food. Isn't that far more romantic than love?" But after she finished speaking, the light in Lin Qingxue's eyes suddenly dimmed a little. Going to Wyoming Lake together to enjoy the breeze, going outside the north gate to the snack street for barbecue, and going together to study in the university library. Skipping classes to watch him play in the university basketball games. All these things she once said to that boy years ago. Unfortunately now, on this campus, among the many students passing by, although some have eyes like his, noses like his, and even voices that sound like his, unfortunately none of them are him. As expected of someone who lived with her for a year. Seeing Lin Qingxue's dim expression, Li Qian immediately grew nervous. "Qingxue, you're not still unable to forget your boyfriend who died 3 years ago, are you?" As for Lin Qingxue's story, her dorm roommates knew roughly about it. The innocent love of high school, whether early romance or secret crush. Everyone experiences something like that in youth. But even if one mourns for 3 years, those 3 years have already passed. Why not try to start something new? Lin Qingxue understood her roommate's concern and smiled freely. "Actually, it's not that I can't let go. It's just that right now, I still can't bring myself to like anyone else." Lin Qingxue then pulled Li Qian's hand and urged her. "All right, don't just stand here. At this time, the freshmen should already be entering the campus. Why don't you go to the gate to welcome them? Maybe this year our department will have a few handsome freshmen you like. That makes sense." Li Qian's eyes lit up instantly. She quickly left the reception desk and went to the school gate to welcome the newcomers. Lin Qingxue let out a long breath. The feelings of youth. How could they possibly be forgotten so easily? Back then, with just a gentle turn, she took away my entire youth. Even 10 minutes could make a beautiful dream. The past quickly faded as a breeze blew by. It ruffled the long hair by the girl's temples. Lin Qingxue slightly raised her head. A trace of inexplicable sadness appeared on her face. "If only you were still here right now." At the gate of Kyoto University, I held my suitcase in my hand and looked up at the forgilded characters in front of me. In my once calm and steady heart, unexpected ripples suddenly arose. When I left without saying goodbye back then, she must have been very sad. I took a long, deep breath and slowly walked inside. After only a few steps, Li Qian, wearing a freshman welcome volunteer badge, quickly walked up to me. "Hey, Junior, which department are you from? I'm a volunteer for the freshman registration. I'll take you to register. I didn't refuse. I wasn't familiar with the campus anyway. Then I'll trouble you, senior. No trouble, no trouble. Lin Qingxue smiled. What a coincidence. I'm also from the finance department. That means you're my direct junior. The junior reached out to take your suitcase. Let me carry it. I'll take you to register now. You quietly pull the suitcase slightly back without anyone noticing. No need. The things inside are quite heavy. I can carry it myself. All right then, just follow behind me. Lin Qingxue wasn't shy about it. After giving a carefree smile, she led you toward the freshman registration reception desk. After only a few steps, you looked up and asked, Senior, since you're from the finance department, I'd like to ask, do you know Senior Lin Qingxue? Of course I do. Lin Qingxue immediately nodded, with a playful look in her eyes. Looks like you're well informed, Junior. You just arrived at the university, yet you already found out who the most beautiful campus belle in our faculty is. So what? Are you interested in our famous Lin Qingxue too? You smiled. Lin and I went to the same high school. And it's also because of her that I chose the finance department at Kyoto University. Lin Qingxue was a little surprised and soon gave me a knowing look. So, you came here because of her. Young people nowadays are really something. But since you two went to the same high school, you must have heard about Senior Lin's stories. I was a little stunned. Back in high school, Lin Qingxue had always been a top student, aside from being called the campus beauty, an academic genius. I really didn't know about anything else regarding her. This ranking second in the whole grade count because the first place was me. At that moment, the phone in my pocket suddenly rang. Sorry. I need to take this call. After giving Lin Qingxue an apologetic look, I picked up the phone and answered it. Professor Liu, this is Chu Yang. Professor Liu is a professor at Kyoto University. Although he isn't very old, he has already become one of the leading authorities in microelectronics and electronic engineering in the country. He is currently the deputy dean in charge of research at the School of Electronic Information of Kyoto University. During the past 3 years, at the research base, I had relied on my professional knowledge to impress many. I'm already preparing to complete my enrollment procedures. Professor Liu continued to ask, but I still don't understand. With your research capabilities, you could easily replace a doctoral researcher. Why would you suddenly want to study at university again? Chief Engineer Chu, I'll say the same thing again. As long as you change your mind, I can immediately submit a report to make you an honorary professor at Kyoto University. If you want to teach, we can even create a special major for you to teach. I guarantee the we offer will definitely be better than Tsinghua University next door. Back when you were at the research base, you were the prized talent in the eyes of many university deans. But at that time you were focused entirely on breaking through the lithography machine project, so those deans didn't pursue the idea further. Now that the research is finished, with your achievements, you could at least become an academician of the National Academy. Such a young academician would be a talent everyone is eager to recruit. Since you've come to Kyoto University, we certainly can't let you leave again. I replied with a smile. Let's talk about that later. For now, just let me rest for a while. Alright, I'm about to register here. You're busy as well, so I won't keep you. Alright. Professor Liu nodded repeatedly. Go register first. Although I'm not at the university right now, if you have any problems in daily life, just call me directly. Alright. When you return to the capital, I'll definitely visit you. You nodded slightly with a smile, then hung up the phone. At this moment, we had arrived at the freshman registration area. Lin Qingxue looked around and noticed that Lin Qingxue, who had been sitting at the reception desk, had suddenly disappeared. She hurried over to the others and asked, Where is Qingxue? I even brought her some specialty snacks from her hometown. Someone replied, Lin Qingxue said the weather is too hot, and staying here all day is quite exhausting. So she's treating us to milk tea. She went to get the milk tea. Li Qian looked a little disappointed. She turned to you apologetically. Sorry, Junior. Senior has something to do. You won't be able to see her for now. You smiled and nodded. It's okay. There's plenty of time in the future. We'll definitely meet someday. Which class are you in? Finance department, class 1. Hearing that, Li Qian immediately laughed. Then that's perfect. Qingxue and I are both assistant advisors for finance class 1. When the freshmen meet tomorrow, you'll see her again. Go register first. I nodded slightly and walked to the small registration table of the finance school. After they checked the information on my admission notice, they found my name on the freshman list. After signing, I received the dormitory key and my student card. A senior student walked up to me. Junior, since you've received everything, I'll take you to the dorm first. Drop off your luggage. Then you can go to the dorm office to pick up bedding and daily supplies. I nodded slightly and followed the sophomore senior toward the finance department boys' dormitory. Not long after I left, Lin Qingxue arrived at the freshman registration area for the finance school. Li Qian immediately rushed up to her. Qingxue, you just missed it. Let me tell you, our department got a super handsome and very elegant junior this year. And he even said he went to the same high school as you. I think that junior definitely came here because of you. But after all, he's from your hometown. A junior from Zixi High School. You should take good care of him. Anyway, he's in the regular class. You'll see him at tomorrow's freshman meeting. Then Li Qian asked again. His name is Chu Yang. So, do you have any impression of this junior? As soon as Li Qian said this, Lin Qingxue's heartbeat suddenly slowed for a moment. Even her voice began to tremble slightly. What did you say his name was? His name is Chu Yang. Is there a problem? Li Qian asked in confusion. No, nothing. Lin Qingxue shook her head slightly in disappointment. Which direction did he go just now? Li Qian pointed in the direction I had left. When Lin Qingxue looked over, the backs of me and a sophomore had just turned into a small alley. But, in that instant, Lin Qingxue seemed to see the back of that boy from years ago. But then she quickly shook her head. Impossible. It must just be a coincidence. 3 years ago, during the summer vacation, she had argued with Chu Yang. She said she would never speak to him again. But after calming down for 2 days, she sent Chu Yang a message again. But from that day on, it was as if I had disappeared from her life. Neither classmates nor teachers knew where I had gone. Not only had my family moved away, even when the police checked my ID records, they had been erased. At that time, a thought appeared in Lin Qingxue's mind. That was, I was dead. For the past 3 years, she had firmly believed this. So in her eyes, that back figure definitely wasn't me. At most, the name was the same, and the back looked similar. In the end, Lin Qingxue trembled slightly and withdrew the step she had almost taken to chase after him. The sophomore escorted me to the dormitory building and left, following the dorm number marked on the key. Soon, inside the dorm, the remaining 2 roommates also arrived. The 4 of us ranked ourselves by birth dates. Zhu Pengfei was the eldest, Zhang Mingyang the second, I was the third, and Wang Lei the 4th. Zhang Mingyang laughed. It's not easy for people from all over the country to gather here. I'm from Kyoto. I'm pretty familiar with this area. Tonight is on me. Let's go have a meal together. Zhu Pengfei quickly said. No need to treat us. Let's just split the bill. But since you know the area well, you can pick the place. Haha. Wang Lei and I nodded with a smile. At that moment, Wang Lei's phone suddenly dinged. He quickly lowered his head to check it. Then he raised the phone in his hand and said to us, Guys, have you joined the class group chat yet? The counselor created a class group. The message in the group says, "Our assistant counselor this year is Lin Qingxue." You guys know who Lin Qingxue is, right? Ju Pengfei reacted first. Holy crap, seriously? Lin Qingxue is our assistant counselor. I slightly raised my eyebrows. From the information I had someone gather earlier, I already knew Lin Qingxue was quite popular at Jinda, but I didn't expect her to be this popular. After reading the message in the group, Zhang Mingyang sighed. What a pity. As the #1 campus beauty of Jinda, Senior Lin has never forgotten her ex-boyfriend who died 3 years ago. Otherwise, just with her being our assistant counselor, I would definitely try to pursue her. My heart stirred slightly. I looked up and asked, her ex-boyfriend from 3 years ago. Did Lin Qingxue have a boyfriend 3 years ago? But later he died in an accident. After saying that, Zhang Mingyang sighed again. What a pity. If she had simply broken up with her ex-boyfriend, it would have been easier. But the guy is dead. I guess Lin Qingxue will probably never forget that ex-boyfriend from her high school days, her deskmate from the first year. I froze for a moment. I remember Lin Qingxue's deskmate in her first year of high school. Wasn't that me? Since when did I become her ex-boyfriend? I admit that back then I did have feelings for her. But before I could act on them, I was taken away to do research. What exactly happened? During the 3 years I disappeared. I must find out the truth. I suddenly jumped up from my chair, instantly attracting the attention of the other 3 in the dorm. Third brother, why did you suddenly stand up? I took a breath and said, I just remembered. There are still some daily necessities I haven't bought yet. So I plan to go to the supermarket near the school to buy a few things. I can't exactly tell them that I'm the one they're talking about. Lin Qingxue's so-called ex-boyfriend who had been dead for 3 years. Ju Pengfei laughed. Perfect timing. The stuff the school gave us isn't enough anyway. I also need to buy some things. Let's go together. Wang Lei and Zhang Mingyang stood up as well. They said in unison, let's go together. I also need to buy something. Suddenly I had 3 followers tagging along. After twitching the corner of my mouth, I smiled calmly and said, all right, then let's go together. 3 years have already passed, so waiting one more day doesn't matter. After the 4 of us went to the supermarket near the school and bought all the daily necessities for the dorm. When we returned to campus, it was already around 7. After putting our things down, and everyone finished washing up and grab a late-night snack while we're at it. Naturally, no one had any objections. All right then, give me a moment to dry my hair. Zhang Mingyang laughed and said, guys, don't say I didn't warn you. At Jinda University, the pretty girls are way more than those at a wacky next door. Dress up a little more handsome. Maybe some beautiful girl will notice you. Ju Pengfei's eyes lit up instantly. Damn, you should have said that earlier. I'm going to change into another outfit. Wang Lei's expression shifted as he shouted to Zhang Mingyang. Hey, second brother. I'm not very good at fixing my hair. Help me style it later too. The corner of my mouth twitched. A faint smile gradually appeared in my eyes. Maybe this is the feeling of youth. I raised the dark screen of my phone and checked my reflection. Still just as handsome. No problem. No need for me to change. I'm not that shallow. Girls' dormitory. Li Qian walked over to Lin Qingxue with a smile. Qingxue, what are we eating tonight? Lin Qingxue replied slowly. The cafeteria. I think the new dish on the first floor. Braised pork with dried tofu skin is good. Li Qian immediately said. We just got back to school, and you want to eat in the cafeteria. We've been busy all day. Let's go walk around the north gate. See if there's anything tasty, and buy some fruit on the way back. Lin Qingxue immediately rolled her eyes at her. I think you just want to go out to check out the new freshman boys at our school. Li Qian smiled helplessly. Lin Qingxue turned her head and looked at the other 2 roommates. Do you want to go out for a walk together? The other 2 girls nodded immediately. No problem. Lin Qingxue glanced at Li Qian. It feels like after the summer vacation. Our dorm hasn't gone out together for a long time. Then let's go. Soon, the 4 girls from dorm 319 finished getting ready. We quickly left the boys' dormitory and rushed straight to the snack street at the north gate of the school. Almost at the same time, Lin Qingxue and the other 3 also left the girls' dormitory. They arrived at the snack street at the north gate. Jiang Mingyang put his hands in his pockets and looked at us. Guys, this north gate area is the famous snack street of Jinda University. The barbecue places here all taste pretty good. Pick whichever one you like. Zhu Pengfei and Wang Lei looked at each other, then turned to me. Third brother, which one? I casually glanced at the barbecue restaurants around us and directly chose the nearest barbecue restaurant. Everyone nodded in agreement. Jiang Mingyang quickly stepped forward to lead the way. Come on, guys. At the same time, Li Qian linked arms with Lin Qingxue and looked around. Then she said to Lin Qingxue and the other 2 girls, "Girls, what do you think? Which place should we eat?" "We're fine with anything." The other 2 girls nodded. Li Qian then looked at Lin Qingxue. Lin Qingxue casually raised her head and quickly glanced around. Suddenly, her whole body trembled. At the entrance of a barbecue restaurant, I was standing beside Zhu Pengfei and the others, and had just walked inside. At that moment, Lin Qingxue felt her mind go completely blank. Her eyes stared fixedly at the restaurant I entered. She held her breath, unable to recover for a long time. It was just as similar. Unlike the silhouette from this morning, just now, she felt like she had really seen a boy who looked almost exactly like Chu Yang. Even his clothes were the same as in her memory. A clean white t-shirt, slim jeans, and that slightly messy yet handsome black hair. At that moment, Lin Qingxue felt like she could barely breathe. No matter how unwilling she was to believe it, Chu Yang had already died. Li Qian shook Lin Qingxue's wrist a few times. "Qingxue, what are you spacing out for?" Only then did Lin Qingxue come back to her senses. Looking at Li Qian and the others, she said, "Let's eat barbecue." Barbecue with beer is a perfect match in summer. Li Qian and the others naturally had no objections. Then Lin Qingxue led Li Qian and the others, slowly, to the barbecue restaurant I had just entered. With every step, her heartbeat sped up a little more. In this world, are there really people who look exactly the same? Or was it that at that moment, the heart of Lin Qingxue, which had been dead for 3 years, suddenly began to come back to life? Whether it was a faint hope or wishful thinking, she still wanted to meet this boy who looked exactly like the one in her memories. Jiang Mingyang and the others first found a private room and sat down. I casually picked up the menu and flipped through it. Then I looked at them and said I was going to the restroom. "You guys can order." Meanwhile, Lin Qingxue and Li Qian also entered the restaurant. They first found a corner to sit and called the owner. After the menu was brought, Lin Qingxue looked at them. "You guys just order. I think I saw someone I know. I'll go find him." Li Qian's eyes lit up. "Someone you know? Don't tell me it's a handsome guy." Lin Qingxue rolled her eyes. "Go on, just order the food." Then she stood there, her eyes scanning around the barbecue restaurant. After seeing only unfamiliar faces everywhere, her expression immediately turned disappointed. But then she took a deep breath, and one by one, quickly pushed open the doors of each private room in the barbecue restaurant. After realizing the familiar face still wasn't there, she walked out of the private room in disappointment. She kept saying, "Sorry, I entered the wrong room." In the end, Lin Qingxue pushed open the door of Jiang Mingyang and his group's private room. When Jiang Mingyang and the others saw Lin Qingxue, their eyes widened instantly. "Hello, hello." Lin Qingxue awkwardly smiled at Jiang Mingyang and the other 3. Then looking at the 4 sets of bowls and chopsticks on the table, she asked curiously, "To have one more person?" Zhu Pengfei quickly replied, "Our third brother went to the restroom." Lin Qingxue nodded. Looking at them apologetically, she said, "Sorry, I thought I saw someone I knew. I entered the wrong room. Then she quickly walked out of the room. But just as she turned around, she saw the back of a boy, wearing a white short-sleeved shirt. At that moment, Lin Qingxue's heartbeat suddenly sped up. After taking a deep breath, she slowly walked behind the boy and quickly tapped his shoulder. The boy in front turned around quickly. When he saw that it was Lin Qingxue, his eyes immediately lit up. "Classmate Lin, do you need something from me?" Lin Qingxue's expression changed instantly. "Sorry, I mistook you for someone else. My apologies." Lin Qingxue kept apologizing, then returned absent-mindedly to Li Qian and the others. Li Qian quickly asked, "What happened? You walked around and came back looking like your soul left your body." "Nothing." Lin Qingxue forced a smile. Then she looked at the cold beer on the table. "This is the first time our dorm came out for barbecue this semester. Let's have a couple of drinks first." After pouring herself a full glass of beer, Lin Qingxue tilted her head back and gulped it down, drinking the entire glass of beer. Meanwhile, I slowly walked out of the restroom. Without even glancing at the main hall, I pushed open the door and went straight into the private room. On the table in the room, glasses were already filled with chilled beer. Seeing me come in, Zhu Pengfei and the others immediately laughed. "Third bro, you took way too long in the restroom. We've all been waiting for you. Come on, to celebrate us gathering here from all over the country. Let's have a drink together." I didn't hesitate. After sitting down, I immediately picked up the glass in front of me and smiled at the three of them. More than half an hour after we met, after 3 rounds of drinks and several dishes, Zhang Mingliang's face was already flush. Holding his glass, he smiled at us and said, "Senior Lin Qingxue is also eating in this restaurant. What do you think? Should we go out and toast her? After all, she will be our assistant instructor." During military training, I was slightly stunned. Did Lin Qingxue just come here? Wang Wei immediately said, "You had gone to the restroom earlier. Senior Lin probably entered the wrong room. So, she came into our room for a moment. When I went out to the restroom just now, I saw her, still drinking outside, with her roommates." Zhu Pengfei nodded in agreement. Yeah, I saw them too. To be honest, Senior Lin never used to drink at all. At the mention of drinking, I frowned slightly. The Lin Qingxue I knew before would never touch alcohol. Then I smiled and looked at Zhu Pengfei and the others. "I'm stepping out for a bit. You guys keep drinking." With that, I pushed open the private room door first and walked into the main hall. Looking around, I quickly spotted Lin Qingxue drinking nonstop. At the table, Li Qian and the other roommates looked at Lin Qingxue with concern. "Qingxue, stop drinking. Look, you're already drunk." After Lin Qingxue walked around the barbecue restaurant, they all felt that something was off about her. She seemed like she had lost her soul. She kept drinking one glass after another. At first they thought Lin Qingxue was just in a bad mood, so they drank with her for a few glasses, but they didn't expect her to drink so much. "It's fine. I'll finish this last glass, and then I won't drink anymore." Lin Qingxue's eyes were already unfocused. Even the hand holding the glass trembled slightly. Her face was flushed red, right before her eyes. Suddenly, a face she had longed for appeared. Although it looked a bit blurry, Lin Qingxue believed it was Chu Yang. "Stop drinking." I snatched the glass from her hand and gulped it down in one go. Li Qian looked at me in surprise. "Junior, it's you?" "Hello, Senior." I greeted Li Qian, then looked at Lin Qingxue with concern. I asked them, "How much is she drunk?" Li Qian pointed at the 75 beer bottles on the floor. "All of these were drunk by our campus beauty Lin." At that moment, Lin Qingxue suddenly raised her head, and her slightly reddened eyes Two streams of tears instantly flowed down. Chu Yang, you finally showed up. Then, she tightly hugged me who was standing beside her, her whole body trembling. I promise you, I will never argue with you again. Please don't suddenly disappear again, okay? My expression was complicated. I reached out and gently patted Lin Qingxue's trembling shoulders, then turned to Senior Li Qian. Where is your dorm? Let me help you take her back to the dorm first. Okay, Li Qian was stunned for a moment, then got excited just in time. We can't carry her either. Then we'll trouble you, Junior. No trouble. I shook my head, then reached out and wrapped my arm around Lin Qingxue's slender waist. A Princess Carrie quickly lifted her from the chair into my arms and walked steadily, slowly leaving the private room of the barbecue shop. Zhu Pengfei and the others peeked out curiously, watching me carry Lin Qingxue away. They were instantly dumbfounded on the spot. It was quite sudden. Just moments ago, they were still discussing whether to go toast Lin Qingxue. But when it came to me, I just went straight up and carried her away. What's going on? The other two roommates in Lin Qingxue's dorm were also confused. In the past year at Shinda University, many boys had pursued Lin Qingxue's rich second-generation heirs, as well as entrepreneurs from outside the campus. But without exception, all of them were rejected by Lin Qingxue. She even treated all the boys on campus coldly. So, why did this freshman come over and she threw herself into his arms? Li Qian was also a bit surprised. Judging from the current situation, there must be some story between these two. But as far as she knew, Lin Qingxue had only ever had a story with one man, and that was her ex-boyfriend who had died 3 years ago. Could it be that Chu Yang? Li Qian couldn't help but shiver. Could this be some kind of resurrection armor? But at this moment, she didn't have the mind to think too much about it. She quickly ran to the cashier of the barbecue shop. After paying the bill, she took the other two roommates and followed me out. Outside the barbecue shop, many college students were coming and going. The moment I carried Lin Qingxue out of the barbecue shop, it instantly attracted the attention of many students. Girl, look, a Princess Carrie. Are they filming a drama? That guy is so handsome, especially his legs. They're so long. I wish I were the girl in his arms. Countless girls screamed silently, but quite a few sharp-eyed boys recognized that I was carrying Lin Qingxue and were instantly shocked. Holy crap, isn't that Lin Qingxue, the sophomore, in his arms? Let go of my goddess, let me do it. Damn, has my goddess gotten a boyfriend? Don't Qingxue. Lin Qingxue slowly opened her eyes drowsily and stared closely at me, who was right in front of her. Her arms instantly wrapped around my neck, her whole body clinging to me. Like a little squirrel, her breath brushed softly against me as she murmured, "Could it really be you, Chu Yang? Chu Yang, you finally came back. Promise me you won't leave again, okay? I really promise I won't argue with you anymore." The faint fragrance of the girl mixed with a hint of alcohol, looking at Lin Qingxue in my arms, who kept moving restlessly and had a hazy gaze. After all, I was just a hot-blooded young man who had just come of age. Lin Qingxue's actions instantly made my blood surge. I couldn't help but swallow and helplessly lowered my head to look at Lin Qingxue in my arms. A trace of tenderness instantly appeared in my eyes. "I promise I'll never leave you again." Okay, as Lin Qingxue heard this, she instantly nestled in my arms and smiled contentedly, like a child acting spoiled as she called out, "Then you've promised. You're not allowed to leave again. If anyone disappears without a word again, they're a little puppy. A woof-woof puppy." I nodded repeatedly. "I promise whoever disappears is a puppy. A woof-woof kind of puppy." Only then did Lin Qingxue finally calm down, resting obediently in my arms, and slowly fell asleep. I turned to look at Li Qian beside me. Is she always like this after drinking? Li Qian shook her head repeatedly. No. Although our dorm occasionally goes out and drinks some beer, Qingxue is always very measured when she drinks. She has never gotten drunk before. After saying that, she couldn't help but laugh. Come to think of it, this is also our first time seeing Qingxue drunk like this. Didn't expect someone usually so cold. After getting drunk, to be like a child. The two girls following beside us nodded repeatedly. I see. I nodded slightly, then glanced at Li Qian and the phones in the hands of the three of them, and asked curiously, "Are you recording?" Li Qian's expression stiffened, and she smiled awkwardly at me. "Recording good memories. We're just simply recording what she looks like when she's drunk, so tomorrow when she sobers up, we can show it to her. It'll be easier to help her recall what happened tonight." The corner of my mouth twitched. After hesitating to speak, I just casually said, "Go ahead and film. Just make sure I look good on camera." Li Qian and the others immediately burst into laughter. But after just a few steps, Li Qian glanced at me curiously again. Junior, could it be that you are the one she mentioned? The ex-boyfriend who died 3 years ago." I thought for a few seconds. If nothing unexpected happened, then it should be me. "Then he also said you." Li Qian and the others were instantly confused. "You mean to say I've been dead for 3 years, right?" I lowered my head and glanced at Lin Qingxue, who had already fallen asleep peacefully in my arms. The corners of my mouth unconsciously lifted slightly. Actually, I also really want to know why she said I had been dead for 3 years. After pausing for a few seconds, the smile on my face gradually faded. Under Li Qian's lead, my ex-girlfriend, I carried Lin Qingxue to the entrance of their dorm, and only then carefully set her down from my arms. Looking at Li Qian and the others, I said, "Seniors, while she's in the dorm, please take care of her tonight." "No problem." Li Qian and the others nodded repeatedly. Then they stood beside Lin Qingxue together and helped support her up, walking step by step into the girls' dorm. After they disappeared from sight, I finally left the entrance of the girls' dorm. When I returned to the barbecue shop, Zhu Pengfei and the others were still sitting obediently in the private room. As soon as I pushed the door open, the three of them stood up together. One person pulled out a chair for me. One cleared a clean space on the table. And one brought me some hot skewers and a bottle of beer. After pressing me into the chair, the three of them then sat back in a row, looking like they were holding a trial, staring at me with gossip-filled faces, asking, "Third brother, tell us, what's going on? It's only your first day at university, and without a word, you've already won over the most beautiful campus belle of our university." "What do you mean won over?" I looked at them helplessly. "We already knew each other in high school. I heard you say she was outside, so I went over to say hello. I didn't expect her to be drunk, so I just helped take her back to the dorm." "Did you even touch your conscience when you said that?" Zhu Pengfei rolled his eyes at me. "Third brother, don't think we're all blind. Just ordinary friends. Do you need a Princess Carrie to send her back to the dorm? What? Her roommates don't exist. Besides, I saw it clearly." Lin Qingxue jumped into your arms on her own. Wang Wei's eyes lit up. "Third brother, could it be that you are the one Lin Qingxue mentioned? The ex-boyfriend who died 3 years ago. 3 years ago, you two broke up, and you broke her heart, turning love into hatred, so she told everyone you were dead." At this moment, Zhang Mingliang was fully immersed in the theory, and slapped his thigh hard. "Third brother, I get it now. You're really something. Did you mess around and then abandon her and dump our campus goddess Lin Qingxue, and that's why she said you were dead?" Wang Wei had already fully bought into it. "Damn, if that's the case. During the next half-month of military training, Lin Qingxue is our assistant instructor. Won't she make things hard for us? You've got to handle this situation." Third brother, I was completely speechless. "Don't make wild guesses. I didn't do anything to wrong her. And we're not even in a relationship. As far as I know, she never dated anyone in high school." "Then I get it." Zhang Mingyang laughed. "So that ex-boyfriend who died 3 years ago was just a rumor spread by Lin Qingxue, using a non-existent ex-boyfriend as a shield. In that case, Does that mean I have a chance? Get lost. Zhu Pengfei rolled his eyes at Zhang Mingliang. Stop daydreaming here. With my keen sixth sense, I swear. Between third brother and Lin Qingxue, there must be some unknown story. In an instant, Zhu Pengfei and the other two then all turned their eyes toward me again. Bro, spill the tea. I sighed helplessly. We were never together. And I didn't abandon her either. Just normal classmates. Then you don't have any feelings at all. I fell silent for a moment. At the same time, in the north, at a large aerospace engine research base, inside a conference room, a man around 70, with a full head of white hair, wearing a white lab coat, looked at stacks of top-secret design blueprints and felt a headache coming on. This was Professor Liu, the one who called me earlier, the vice dean of the School of Electronic Information at Jinda University. At this moment, he stood at the front of the meeting room, looking solemnly at the researchers below. Gentlemen, regarding this test failure, what are your thoughts? Have you identified the problem? One of the researchers immediately spoke up. The inspection results are out. There are several issues. First is still the turbine blade problem. The precision of the turbine blades is still slightly off. Then everyone listened quietly until the report finished. The old man at the front snorted coldly. Let's not talk about the other issues. How many times have the turbine blades been tested? And they still don't meet the standard. What exactly are those supplier companies trying to do? Are we supposed to change the design drawings? Other research bases launched at the same time have already produced fifth-generation transport, aircraft engines, and various types of drones and missiles. But their aerospace combat engine research has taken a full 10 years. Yet during the test flight, they ended up with such a result. At that moment, Lu Yang in the crowd suddenly raised his head and looked at the old man. He spoke up, Chief, I know someone who might be able to solve this problem. The person he was referring to was me. Regarding the photonics research, the research base encountered many problems back then. But once those problems came to me, they were quickly resolved. In some respects, in the eyes of those researchers who participated in the photonics research base, my status among them had almost become legendary. And he had also discussed with me before the design of aerospace combat engines. I also had quite a few insights in this area. He believed that if I came, I would definitely be able to solve the problem. Hearing this, the Jiangwo, the chief designer of the aerospace combat engine, immediately turned his gaze toward Lu Yang. Who are you saying can solve this problem? Chu Yang, Lu Yang said slowly. As soon as the words fell, people in the conference room began whispering. Who is Chu Yang? An expert in which field? Why have I never heard this name in the country before? Is there even an aerospace expert named Chu Yang? Director that is the vice president of the Academy of Sciences. And even he couldn't solve this problem. Can that Chu Yang really help us solve it? Whether it was the projects they participated in, or the ones I led, they were all top secret. Not to mention my current identity, which is absolutely classified at the highest level, so most people present didn't even know my name. Only the Jiangwo among the crowd showed a slight change in expression. He looked at Lu Yang and asked, the Chu Yang you mentioned, is he the chief designer of that project you once participated in? As the vice president of the Academy of Sciences, his information network was quite well informed. Those senior members of the Academy of Sciences had even held meetings together. So regarding Chu Yang, he also had some understanding. That's him, Lu Yang nodded firmly. The Jiangwo was a bit puzzled. Then can you invite him over? As far as he knew, that kid was now not doing proper work and had gone to Jing University to study. That's right, not doing proper work. My research talent, these old guys all knew quite well. In just 3 years, from nothing, I developed a 1 nanometer lithography machine and brought China's chip industry to the top of the world. With such research talent, he even wished he could lock this kid in a research-based 24 hours a day. Lu Yang nodded. I can't guarantee it, but we have to try. The Jiangwo thought for a few seconds. A trace of expectation gradually appeared in his eyes, and finally nodded. Then give it a try. I also really want to meet that interesting young man. We are getting old. The future of China's research will ultimately be handed over to the younger generation. The next morning, I packed my clothes in the dorm. While talking on the phone with Lu Yang, no problem, no problem. I'll book the earliest flight over. I should arrive tonight. Then I hung up the phone. Zhu Pengfei, who had just gotten up, scratched the back of his head sleepily and looked up at me packing my luggage and asked in confusion, "Third brother, why are you packing so early in the morning?" "Something came up at home. I need to go back," I said casually. I had just received a call from Lu Yang, inviting me to participate in advising on the design and research of a 7th-generation aerospace combat engine. Originally, this matter didn't require my involvement, but I also understood that once I devoted myself to scientific research, I no longer belonged to myself alone. Just like a few months ago, when I was at the research base filling out that statement. I am willing to actively devote myself to scientific research and serve the country with knowledge and technology, and strive for it for the rest of my life. Some responsibilities can't be avoided. Zhu Pengfei instantly woke up. Damn, you're not planning to skip military training. I've already informed the school. Zhu Pengfei nodded, half understanding. So if you inform them, you don't have to attend training. Then he continued asking, how long will you be gone? If it's fast, about a week. If slower, I'll probably be back when your training ends. Since I'm only going to help give some advice and won't be involved in the core research. At most, 2 weeks will be enough. Zhu Pengfei fully woke up. Damn, you're not just doing this to dodge military training, are you? You're suddenly leaving like this. Did you tell Lin Qingxue? My hands paused while packing my clothes. Girls' dormitory. The morning sunlight streamed through the window onto the floor of the dorm. Lin Qingxue, with a slight headache, rubbed her aching forehead and stretched lazily. Then looked toward Li Qian, who was already up. Zhao Qian, what time is it? 7, still early. Li Qian smiled. Not sleeping anymore? Lin Qingxue quickly got out of bed, rubbing her eyes casually. Then asked, did I get drunk last night? I vaguely remember. I think I hugged someone. I thought you blacked out. Li Qian laughed, then took out her phone and opened the video she recorded last night. So, want me to help you recall it, dear? You even recorded a video? Lin Qingxue let out a helpless cry. I really have to hand it to you. Li Qian handed the phone to Lin Qingxue. Take a look for yourself. Do you remember the person who carried you away? Lin Qingxue quickly grabbed the phone. After seeing what was on the screen, she froze on the spot. The phone was playing a video of me carrying her back to school. It even recorded what I said back then. Make sure to film me looking handsome. In an instant, memories flooded her mind. Tears began to fall one after another, streaming down from Lin Qingxue's eyes, as if afraid I would disappear. After watching the video once, Lin Qingxue quickly got off the bed. Her eyes wide, she looked at Li Qian and asked, Zhao Qianshan, how do you know Chu Yang? Where is he now? Li Qian replied, he's a freshman junior from our finance department. He showed up after you got drunk last night. Then you threw yourself into his arms, and then he carried you back. Li Qian probed further and asked, Qingxue, could he be the one you mentioned? Your boyfriend who died 3 years ago. I'm going to find him. Lin Qingxue didn't even have time to answer Li Qian's question. After quickly changing clothes, she rushed out of the dorm. Li Qian called out helplessly. "You're in such a hurry. Do you even know which dorm he's in? Send me the freshman dorm assignment list." At the entrance of the boys' dorm, there weren't many people coming and going. I slowly walked along the path outside the dorm, planning to head to the cafeteria for breakfast. Suddenly, Lin Qingxue's slightly trembling voice reached my ears. "Chu Yang." Lin Qingxue had already wiped away her tears. She looked at me calmly. 3 years had passed, and my appearance hadn't changed much, though I seemed to have grown taller, and the immaturity in my eyes had faded. There was a bit more maturity and composure, but his temperament hadn't changed. Back then, she always thought I seemed overly old-fashioned, like an old scholar, speaking in such a serious manner. It actually felt quite amusing. Even now, I still carry that scholarly air, even dressed in the simplest plain clothes. I still looked gentle and refined, although she had already seen me once, in the video. But now that we were face to face, at that very moment, Lin Qingxue felt like her heart was about to stop. A deathly silence fell between the two of us. Neither of us spoke first. Back then, when she argued with me, she said she never wanted to see me again. But at that time, it was mostly out of anger. Now, she felt more curiosity, confusion, and resentment. Resentment over why I left back then, without saying a word, even if we had never been together. Shouldn't friends at least say goodbye? I was also stunned in place, staring at Lin Qingxue for a long time. She was still the same as 3 years ago. Her appearance hadn't changed much, still as beautiful as before. Her fair face without any makeup was still so pure and radiant. Actually, when I left the research base, I had already imagined all kinds of opening lines for when I'd see Lin Qingxue again. "You're already 18 now. Do you have a boyfriend? How have you been these years? Congratulations, you finally got into Kyoto University." But now, I truly didn't know how to face Lin Qingxue. 3 years ago, I obtained a legacy from a super civilization, the Eternal Knowledge Repository. Although with my current level of knowledge, I still couldn't fully comprehend the concept of the Eternal Knowledge Repository. It existed deep within my mind. And through studying it, the contents within the Eternal Knowledge Repository, in the end, I was able to develop ionophotonic technology, and this was merely a low-tier technology. Within the Eternal Knowledge Repository, it was precisely because of the nanoscale photolithography technology that I decided to give it a try, and handed this technology over to the country, which led to my sudden disappearance 3 years ago. The two of us looked at each other for dozens of seconds, and in those few seconds, all the moments we shared in high school flashed through our minds once again. Being called up together by the teacher to solve problems, while classmates cheered below, encouraging each other as we ran the 1,500 meters at the school sports meet, sneaking spicy snacks during class, and the crimson sunset filling the sky at dusk. In their youth, those evening clouds carried each other's names. It's just a pity that she never held my dirty hands after playing basketball, and I never helped her smooth her wine-tousled black hair. I stood there hesitating for a long time, before finally asking, "I heard I died." Lin Qingxue's eyes trembled and instantly turned red again. As if countless words were stuck in her throat, she clenched her teeth and almost shouted out, "Yes. Chu Yang, weren't you dead? Why did you appear again, for 3 whole years?" She truly believed I was dead. But now I had appeared before her again. I felt conflicted. I really wanted to explain what had happened to me over the past 3 years, why I had left, and what I had been doing. But with my current identity, It wasn't something I could reveal. All the words I wanted to say were forcibly swallowed back. Everything I experienced over these 3 years, even the closest person must never know. Even the contributions I personally made could only wait until after my death to possibly be made public, allowing me to finally stand in the light. In the end, I only said softly, "No matter what, long time no see, I don't want to see you." Lin Qingxue's expression instantly turned cold as she said she came to see me, just to confirm whether I was dead or not. "Now that I know you're still alive, I'll be leaving." With that, Lin Qingxue turned around to leave. "Lin Qingxue," I called out to stop her. "There's something." Lin Qingxue quickly looked up. I said slowly, "I just want to tell you about the promise from back then. I didn't break it. That promise back then." Lin Qingxue let out a cold laugh. She suppressed her anger as she looked at me. "Chu Yang, what exactly are we to each other? Who do you think you are? You leave whenever you want, and come back whenever you want. For 3 years, I sent you so many messages, and you didn't reply to a single one. Without any reason, you just disappeared like you vanished from the world. Do you think that's cool? Something to be proud of, is that it? Do you think that would make me remember you forever? Didn't you disappear? Since you already disappeared, then why did you come back again?" That last sentence, Lin Qingxue almost shouted it out, as if she wanted to release all the pain and grievances and every bit of dissatisfaction from the past 3 years. At the very beginning, she still held on to hope, thinking I was just playing a prank on her, disappearing suddenly for a whole summer. Back then, she even thought that once she found me, she would definitely scold me harshly. But later, she gave up. With no news from me for 3 years, she gradually felt like she was about to forget everything that happened between us 3 years ago. But now, I suddenly appeared again. I was left speechless. What could I even say? With this body of mine, it already belonged to the country. In the end, I could only sigh helplessly. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have left without saying goodbye back then. I left too hastily and didn't know how to face telling Lin Qingxue about my departure. The research project I was going to join was a national secret. Even my parents only knew that I had been specially recruited by the country to study in a special place. I have no regrets about serving the country. But toward Lin Qingxue, I feel guilty. No need. You don't need to apologize to me. We're not anything to each other. You can leave if you want, or stay if you want. Whatever you choose has nothing to do with me. I looked at Lin Qingxue helplessly. I'm leaving. There's something urgent at home. I need to go back for a while. But at the latest, I'll be back after military training ends. Lin Qingxue was briefly stunned after hearing that what happened. But soon, her expression turned cold again. If you want to go, then go. I'm not anyone to you. You don't need to explain to me. I smiled and said, although I've already informed the school, you are still our class assistant counselor. A freshman skipping military training should at least notify the counselor, right? Besides, in my eyes, you're far more than just my counselor. I don't understand what you're saying. Lin Qingxue snorted lightly, then pretended to be calm and said, give anything else. If not, I'll leave. Nothing else. I raised my hand, wanting to smooth her slightly messy hair. But just as my hand was about to touch, I restrained myself and stopped midway. This time, it shouldn't count as leaving without a word, right? I don't want to be called a puppy anymore. I can't be bothered with you. Lin Qingxue instantly recalled what she said last night. After getting drunk, her face flushed as she glared at me. If you've got something to do at home, then hurry up and go. So annoying. After saying that, she quickly turned and left. I stood there watching Lin Qingxue run off. A faint smile gradually appeared on my lips. Maybe I really don't know how to love someone. Back in the dorm, Lin Qingxue thought for a long time, then suddenly scolded herself in frustration. Lin Qingxue, can you stop being so pathetic? Why do you soften the moment you see him? He left without a word for 3 years. Did he ever? Consider your feelings, and you're still worrying about what happened to his family. After taking a few deep breaths and calming herself down, she quickly made up her mind. She absolutely wouldn't let it go just like that. However, I knew nothing about all of this, because at this moment, I had already stepped into the elevator heading to the waiting hall. At this moment, someone shouted at the people inside the elevator. People inside, come out, hurry up and come out first. I raised my head and glanced outside the elevator. Among the dense crowd, it turned out to be a celebrity. And quite a few female fans were taking photos there. I couldn't help but sneer. Can't you people just wait for the next one? Did your family build this airport? What do you mean by that? The male celebrity's assistant's expression instantly turned ugly. Do you know how packed our Kunkun's schedule is? Don't you know? Our flight is about to arrive. Hurry up and give way. I remain expressionless. What does your flight have to do with us? Ask the people standing in this elevator. Who doesn't have their own business to attend to? Do celebrities have special privileges? Hearing this, some of the fanatical female fans surrounding the male celebrity couldn't take it anymore. Can they be busier than our Kunkun? Kunkun is a top-tier celebrity in the country. He's so busy every day he can barely keep up. Can't you just let our Kunkun go up first? What's wrong with you? Giving the elevator to Kunkun is simply your honor. Why aren't you moving aside? What are you standing there for? If you delay our Kunkun's boarding, can you people bear that responsibility? At this moment, the male celebrity's expression also became awkward. After becoming extremely popular in the country, he had long grown accustomed to being pampered, let alone giving up an elevator, even being 2.5 hours late to filming. The entire crew would still wait for him. What's wrong with you ordinary people giving up an elevator? However, due to his professional habits as a celebrity, he was still very cautious in some aspects. If he did something too extreme, it would easily arouse public resentment. The next second, a faint smile appeared on his face. After signaling to his assistant and bodyguards, he looked at you in the elevator and smiled, saying it's okay. Although I'm in a hurry, you all can go first. After all, everyone is busy. The corner of my mouth twitched speechlessly. With the time already wasted, the elevator could have gone up and come back down. But those brainless fans excitedly said, their Kunkun is so well-mannered, and even pointed at me. I shook my head helplessly and didn't bother with that male celebrity. I directly pressed the elevator close button. Heroes' bones go unnoticed, while actors are praised by the world. However, I didn't know, just because I didn't give up the elevator, this male celebrity wanted to incite his fans to attack me online. Not long after I left, the male celebrity turned around and smiled at the fans. A trace of coldness flashed in his eyes. All right, everyone, don't make a fuss. This is just a small misunderstanding. Don't spread it online. We should get going too. Everyone, disperse. The assistant also quickly chimed in, smiling at everyone, saying please disperse. Remember, don't spread this matter online. Absolutely don't. Of course, although they said so, in their hearts they were already planning how to use this incident for publicity. Once it blew up online, those fans hadn't thought in that direction at first. But after being prompted like this, in various fan groups of that male celebrity, it instantly exploded. Kunkun is their whole world. Bullying their idol is even worse than killing their own parents. To them, more than 10 minutes later, those fanatical female fans of Kunkun began posting online various maliciously edited videos, calling for attacks against me, and posts using big data to search for me, all surfaced at once. There were even posts calling for people to apologize to Kunkun. Our idol deserves respect. These posts were directly pushed onto trending searches by those fanatical female fans. As a result, some of my information was also posted online by certain people, although most key information was protected by SSS-level encryption. Unless one had extremely high clearance, basically no one could find it. Even so, my photos were still exposed online, especially in the personal history section. It even stated that for 3 years, No information about my background could be found. After this incident was exposed, countless fanatical female fans of Drunken immediately started typing furiously online. Is Jin University that easy to get into now? Can just anyone study there? There's no record of this person's college entrance exam, nor any record of him participating in any top international competitions. How did someone like this get into Jin University? I suggest the relevant authorities investigate strictly. Of course, there were also some reasonable fans, but under the influence of the fanatics stirring things up. Public opinion online was from the very beginning tilted toward Drunken, and I instantly became a target of universal condemnation. Inside the dormitory of Jin University, Lin Qingxue, who had been comfortably scrolling Douyin, saw the rapidly rising trending topic and immediately called Lin Qingxue over. Qingxue, look, isn't this your junior? So many people online are cursing him right now. What do you mean my junior? Lin Qingxue was stunned for a moment and quickly took Lin Qingxue's phone to check. Then immediately said speechlessly, are these fans idiots? Then she took out her own phone, clicked into the trending topic, and started arguing. Are celebrities superior to others? Just because he didn't give up the elevator, are you rushing to reincarnate or rushing to die? He can insult me. That's because I owe him. But others don't have the right. Looking at Lin Qingxue's indignant expression, Lin Qingxue couldn't help but laugh. Qingxue, who is it that said you'd have nothing to do with Chu Yang anymore? Looking at you now, it seems you still have lingering feelings. Lin Qingxue's cheeks instantly flushed red. After glaring at Lin Qingxue, this is about the matter, not the person. If it were anyone else treated like this, I would do the same. But soon she realized her comment was instantly drowned out by malicious remarks. Lin Qingxue grew a bit worried. Qingxue, this is bad. Those fanatical fans of Drunken clearly don't intend to let your junior off. He's really in big trouble this time. I already said I have nothing to do with him anymore. Lin Qingxue immediately explained. But right after, a trace of worry appeared in her eyes. At this moment, inside a certain special office, an emergency red light suddenly lit up. Remove it from trending immediately. A large number of users online are exposing SSS-level confidential personnel information of our country. There may be a risk of data leakage. Interception preparations completed. Please issue further instructions. After seeing this, Director Liu Chongqing of the National Security Administration immediately flew into a rage. What the hell are you people doing? Immediately have people remove all information about Chu Yang online and arrange an investigation into this matter right away. See whether there are any foreign spy organizations fanning the flames. I'll give you only 10 minutes. If he suffers any harm because of this, none of you will get away with it. China can do without me, the head of the Security Bureau. But China's scientific research community absolutely cannot do without him. As a top genius researcher in the country, my personal file had long been linked to the National Security Administration, no matter who it is, or any organization trying to access my information would immediately trigger a danger alert. But what he never expected was that this time, it wasn't just a single person checking my identity, but countless reckless netizens spreading my information online. After reviewing the airport elevator surveillance, he gritted his teeth and cursed it under his breath. Some celebrities nowadays are really getting out of hand. Acting arrogant is one thing, but damn it, use your eyes. Do you even know who you're showing off to? Making someone who's about to become the youngest academician in the country give up the elevator for you. Are you worthy? Just as his thought fell, his phone suddenly rang. The moment he saw the caller ID, his heart skipped a beat. Here comes someone protective. The caller was Wang Weilin, president of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Don't be fooled by them being old men. When it comes to protecting their own, every single one of them is formidable. Taking a deep breath, he nervously answered the call. Wang Weilin immediately started scolding him harshly. Liu Chongqing, what kind of useless director are you? Of the National Security Administration. Such a big incident is happening online right now, and your department is doing nothing. I'm telling you, If Chu Yang's identity gets exposed, I don't care about my reputation anymore. I'll go straight to your office and make a scene. Liu Chongqing's face turned bitter. Please calm down. Calm down, we're already arranging people to handle it. 10 minutes, within 10 minutes. All online information will be taken down. As for that celebrity, I will immediately contact the relevant officials from the cultural department. Rest assured, I will definitely give you, and all the researchers at the academy, a satisfactory explanation. I'll be waiting for your update. Wang Weilin angrily hung up the phone. Liu Chongqing took a deep breath and sat in his office grinding his teeth. Damn it, I've been in the National Security Administration for so many years. This is the first time I've been scolded like this, and couldn't even talk back. Right after that, he picked up the phone on his desk to notify the head of the Cultural Development Department to come to his office within half an hour. Otherwise, he would personally go to their department. Meanwhile, at the airport waiting hall, I received a call from Wang Weilin. Little Chu, don't worry about this matter. Leave it to this old man to handle. Just wait for your flight in peace. Don't let these outside matters disturb your thoughts. Within a day, I will definitely give you a satisfactory explanation. I didn't think much of it at first, but the next second, a few fashionably dressed girls walked up to me. You're Chu Yang, right? You look pretty decent. Weren't you in a hurry? Why are you still waiting here in the hall? Since you're just sitting here anyway, you must be trying to ride on our Kun's fame to gain some attention, right? Don't you want to be famous? Then we'll help you become famous. As soon as she finished speaking, one of the girls splashed a bottle of water directly on me. I had no time to react and was drenched instantly. The security guards in the waiting hall saw this and quickly rushed over. Hey, what are you doing? The girls exchanged glances and immediately ran away. After I wiped the water off my body with tissues, the phone screen beside me suddenly lit up. Lin Qingxue, who was worried in the dorm, quietly sent a message. Are you okay? My originally terrible mood instantly improved, but just as I was about to reply to the tsundere Lin Qingxue, the dorm leader called, and after hearing it, I was instantly furious. It turned out that Lin Qingxue and several girls in her dorm were speaking up for me online. But somehow it was exposed that we were desk mates in high school. And someone even posted her photos online. Now she was being viciously attacked by Kun's fans. From the beginning, I had always taken a tolerant and indifferent attitude toward those fanatical fans. But at this moment, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I took a deep breath and looked down at the message Lin Qingxue sent. Feeling a sudden pang of heartache, she was being scolded like that online. Yet she was still worrying about me. Was she stupid? After thinking for a few seconds, I made a call. The call was quickly connected. Lin Qingxue spoke first. Chu Yang. How are things at the airport? Are you okay? I heard Kun's fans are very extreme. They didn't do anything to you, right? I'm fine. For now, don't worry about this matter. Leave it to me to handle, okay? Just stay in the dorm for now. And don't check Weibo. Find a light-hearted movie to watch. By the time the movie ends, I'll have resolved everything. But Lin Qingxue's tone became a bit emotional. How are you going to resolve it? There are so many people online, cursing nonstop. How can you handle it alone? By the end, her voice even carried a sob. She regretted it. If she hadn't acted stubborn this morning and had come to see me off, would this have not happened? After comforting her a few times, to change the topic, I forced a smile and said, Senior Lin, being this worried about me, does that mean you've already forgiven me? Lin Qingxue immediately pouted arrogantly. Chu Yang. Let me tell you, that's a separate matter. Helping you online is only because what they did was too much. That's all. Don't overthink it. Just give up on that idea. I will never forgive you. Humph. After saying that, she silently added in her heart, at the very least, I can't forgive him so easily. She really had no self-control. Clearly, they hadn't contacted each other for 3 years. But the moment Chu Yang appeared, she immediately raised the white flag and surrendered unconditionally. No matter how harsh her words were, or how deep her feelings were, as long as she saw him, all the unhappiness in her heart would instantly vanish. From the moment I saw Lin Qingxue again, I knew she was still the same as before, just a bit tsundere. The only thing worth being glad about is that we didn't miss each other. I looked ahead, the future is still long. After I finish dealing with family matters, I will properly ask for your forgiveness. I can't be bothered talking to you anymore. I'm hanging up. In the girls' dorm, Lin Qingxue froze and hung up the phone directly. Then she quickly took a few deep breaths and raised her hand to fan her slightly flushed cheeks. Li Qian beside her smirked. Why aren't you crying anymore? After Lin Qingxue's information was exposed by those fans, countless malicious messages were sent to her phone. Even though she seemed cold on the outside, deep down, she was still just a 19-year-old girl. Lin Qingxue quickly shook her head, picked up her phone, and turned into a warrior of justice, starting to comment again. After hanging up Lin Qingxue's call, I took out a secure phone from my suitcase and dialed the number. This is Chu Yang, confidential code S17171. I request to speak with Director Liu Chongqing. After Liu Chongqing answered the call, Academician Chu. I'm truly sorry. Rest assured, your identity will absolutely not be exposed. All personnel involved, our National Security Bureau will thoroughly investigate. Then I'll have to trouble you, Director Liu. But I still need to ask you for one more favor. That girl from Jin University who spoke up for me on Weibo, I don't want her to be affected by this anymore. Not a problem. This is exactly what our National Security Bureau should be doing. But Academician Chu, may I ask, is that Lin Qingxue mentioned online your girlfriend? If she is, our bureau will make the appropriate arrangements for the families of top researchers. The bureau has a full set of protection plans, just like my parents. When I entered the research base 3 years ago, my parents were moved to the family compound in the capital, and their daily movements are under protection. I was stunned for a moment. After a brief pause, not yet. I understand. Liu Chongqing nodded repeatedly. Rest assured, I'll arrange this matter. After saying that, he hung up, muttering to himself. Damn. I was wondering why that kid suddenly went to Jin University. Turns out he went to find his girlfriend. Now that's more like a young man. But then he frowned, looking at the trending topic still surging on Weibo. What's going on? Haven't we already started deleting comments? Why is the heat still so high? The staff looked helpless. Kun has too many fans. We can't keep up with deleting comments. We delete one batch, and another batch appears immediately. Liu Chongqing snorted coldly. What did the person in charge at Weibo say? Why hasn't this trend been suppressed yet? Do they want me to invite their boss to the bureau for a chat? The Weibo didn't pick up the phone, but I contacted a friend who works at Weibo. He said about Kunken's situation, quite a few capital forces have stepped in, trying to use this opportunity to boost Kunken again. His commercial value is still quite high. Liu Chongqing couldn't help but curse. I don't care what capital is backing Kunken. Get the tech department to shut down all Weibo servers. Anyone posting inappropriate comments online, ban all their accounts. And those capital players, bring them all to the National Security Bureau. Let's see whose power is greater, theirs or mine. Also notify other agencies. Within 2 minutes, remove all information about Chu Yang online with his single order. Police departments nationwide and all military units received red-headed official directives. to assist in handling the case. The document contained only 2 points. First, no private discussions within departments. Second, make arrest. Track down suspects based on IP addresses and arrest them at their locations. Although the document was brief, everyone knew. The fewer the words, the bigger the matter. The police chief frowned slightly and gave the order. All personnel on leave return immediately. Everyone, go make arrest. In a certain military camp, a white-haired commander looked solemnly at the document after reviewing it for a long time. He immediately called Lin Qingxue. Old Liu, what's going on this time? Why is the military involved? Lin Qingxue, overwhelmed with work, quickly said, Old Zhao, don't ask for now. Due to confidentiality regulations, I can only say the young man in that document is an important researcher of our country. His value may even surpass that of your former senior. What? The commander's expression instantly turned serious. All right, I understand. Don't worry about this matter. Our military will fully cooperate. Everyone knew who that senior was. After hanging up, the old man's face flushed with anger. He slammed his fist hard on the desk. Officer, immediately mobilize a regiment to assist the police in making arrests. Meanwhile, in the VIP lounge, Kunken lounged comfortably on a luxury massage chair, watching the heated online discussion, his eyes full of arrogance and pride. You idiot, just a nobody trying to fight me. I could crush you with a flick of my finger. His assistant laughed. Your fans are really powerful. It's been less than half an hour, and the topic is already nearing #1 trending. Your exposure has increased a lot. Just as they were celebrating, they had no idea they would soon be invited for tea at the National Security Bureau. Lin Qingxue threw a document onto the desk in front of the cultural department head. Kunken is suspected of defaming a confidential national researcher and attempting to expose classified information. Charged with treason, Sun Bin and Wu Han's assistant are suspected of defaming a confidential national researcher and inciting the public to leak classified information, also to be charged with treason. There were also over a dozen celebrities listed who had supported Kunken online. This is only the first step. How it will ultimately be handled depends on your department's investigation. But let me be clear. This is a major incident. There may even be foreign forces behind it. After this, supervision, taxation, and economic departments will all act jointly. Hearing this, the cultural department head couldn't sit still. If not for the chair supporting him, he would have collapsed to the ground. Not to mention the National Security Bureau rarely intervenes in the entertainment industry, but once they step in, they directly bring treason charges and even mobilize multiple departments. He hurriedly excused himself to Lin Qingxue and rushed back to the Cultural Development Department. In just 10 minutes, the trending topic was taken down, and all information about me disappeared online. When Kunken and his assistants saw this, they immediately exclaimed in shock. The next second, the assistant contacted a senior executive at Weibo. The executive instantly started cursing. Listen carefully. Something huge has happened. For the sake of our past relationship, I'll give you one piece of advice. Either you run, or you confess and cooperate. Because of this incident with Kunken, do you know how badly we've been affected? Just 1 minute before your call, a group from the National Security Bureau stormed our headquarters and directly cut off our server power. Inside the company, most of the equipment was taken away. And I bet after this call, all our Weibo executives will be invited for tea at the bureau. After saying that, still not satisfied, he continued to curse furiously. You bastard. Let me make this clear today. You better not let me see you in this country. Otherwise, I have plenty of ways to ruin you. At this moment, the head of the Cultural Development Department directly called Kunken's agency. As soon as their CEO picked up, he started scolding immediately. I'm calling to inform you. All artists under your agency, all ongoing projects, are to be suspended immediately. Don't show them to me again. If I approve anything for you again, then I'll take your surname, and all celebrities in your company who spoke up for Kunken online are to be banned entirely, especially Kunken. But you don't need to worry about that. He's completely finished. And before 9 p.m. tonight, bring your company's executives to the Cultural Development Bureau. I'll invite all of you for tea. The agency boss was instantly stunned. At that moment, a secretary dressed in Balenciaga rushed in hurriedly. Mr. Sun, something terrible has happened. People from the tax bureau are here. They're taking all our financial records related to taxes, and the business bureau, the finance department, the fire department, even other authorities are all heading to our company. The agency CEO looked completely lost. It's over. Everything is over. No need to think anymore. It's completely finished. Meanwhile, at the airport, Kunken and his assistant kept receiving cancellation notices. Endorsements canceled, appointments canceled. They still hadn't figured out what was going on. When for plainclothes officers approached, we are law enforcement officers from the National Security Bureau. According to our investigation, you two are suspected of endangering a national confidential personnel. The arrest has been approved. Please come with us. Kunken was stunned on the spot. All he did was ask someone to give up an elevator. And he didn't even get it in the end. How did it turn out like this? Who exactly is that guy? Unwilling to accept it, Kunken asked, May I ask? Who exactly is Chu Yang? You're not qualified to know his identity. Just know that from now on, you'll be stripped of your rights for life. Before he could even react, he then saw me sitting quietly in a waiting hall. Right after that, two people from the National Security Bureau immediately walked over. Mr. Chu, the matter online has basically been resolved. The two of us were sent by Director Liu to ensure your safety. I stood up and nodded to them, then looked at Kunken with a faint smile. Big star, good luck with your future. He was instantly enraged, but as soon as he moved, the two officers restraining him pinned him down. Don't try anything. Behave yourself. However, a celebrity does have a lot of fans supporting him. But when countless scandals about Kunken were exposed, his fans could no longer stay calm. And within just over 10 minutes, even bigger revelations came out. According to the tax authorities, Kunken evaded 1.56 billion in taxes. This instantly caused an uproar. What the hell? China only has about 1.4 billion people. This guy deserves to die. At the same time, in the girls' dormitory at Jingdu University, Lin Qingxue shouted excitedly, Qingxue, did you see it? Even the authorities have stepped in. This time your Chu Yang is really lucky. I saw it. Lin Qingxue nodded repeatedly, but she then said proudly, Let me state this again. I really have nothing to do with Chu Yang. But the next second, the phone in her hand started ringing. Her expression instantly tensed. She quickly gestured for silence. Don't make noise. Chu Yang is calling. Lin Qingxue immediately smirked. And you say you have nothing to do with Chu Yang. The moment he calls, you get this nervous. Oh, go away. She rolled her eyes, took a deep breath, and then answered the call. Chu Yang, what's wrong? Is something the matter? I'm about to board the plane, so I called to let you know. Lin Qingxue nodded thoughtfully, then immediately pouted and said, We don't have any kind of relationship. If you're boarding, then just board. What does that have to do with me? You didn't need to call me. After saying that, she couldn't help asking, Did you see what happened on Weibo? Kunken has been arrested. All those posts about you online have disappeared. You were really lucky this time. Looks like it's because the country is cracking down on the entertainment industry. Yeah, we should thank the country. I didn't explain too much. It was best if she thought of it that way. So I didn't need to say anything more. At that moment, a boarding announcement from Obey came over the airport speakers. I'm boarding now. When I get back, I'll come find you. I also want to know what you meant by that boyfriend who supposedly died 3 years ago. Boyfriend. Lin Qingxue's cheeks instantly flushed red. What boyfriend? I don't know. Go board your plane. I'm hanging up. After hanging up the phone, Lin Qingxue immediately became nervous. Why did he suddenly think of this? Back then she really thought he was dead. Who knew he was still alive now? How was she supposed to explain it? She couldn't possibly tell him she liked him very, very much. So for the dead him, she gave him the identity of an ex-boyfriend. But right after that, she felt a bit confused. Passenger Chu Yang traveling from Kyoto to Mobe. Since when did he move his home to Mobe? Before she had time to think it through, Li Qian leaned over with a mischievous grin. Hey, Qingxue, do you know what you looked like just now on the phone? Exactly like a love-struck little kitten. Meanwhile, Kunkin was sitting in the detention vehicle with lifeless eyes. At this moment, he still held on to a bit of hope. He felt like he could still be saved. Looking at the officer beside him, he said, Brother, could you give me my phone so I can make a couple of calls? After this is over, I'll privately give you 5 million. You're really rich, huh? The officer sneered and pointed at the body cam on his chest. Alright, bribing an officer. That's another charge added to your list. You definitely can't make any calls. That's the rule. But I can still let you take a look at what's happening outside. After saying that, he took out his phone. Unexpectedly, the moment Kunkin saw it, the next second, the officer immediately cursed Lao Wang. Pull over. Let me sit in the front. This kid wet himself. Meanwhile, Lin Qingxue, sitting in the girls' dorm, started thinking about me again. She glared fiercely at our call history, grinding her teeth as she muttered, Chu Yang. After going back, there's been no news at all. Did he get home or not? At this moment, Li Qian walked over with a smile. Qingxue, do you know what you look like right now? Like what? A devoted wife stone. If you really still have feelings for him, then just send him a message. No way. She immediately shook her head and pouted, saying I'm this pretty. Aside from Chu Yang, could no one else want me? Why should I be the one to text him first? Meanwhile, in order to quickly develop a spacecraft engine, I began studying materials day and night. At 11 p.m., I arrived at the Jiangwo's dorm and handed him the USB drive in my hand. President, these are some of my concepts and research on aerospace engines. After just one look at the drawings, the Jiangwo's expression gradually became serious, because the materials I provided were too detailed. At this moment, my phone suddenly rang. Sorry about that, academician. The Jiangwo smiled. It's fine, it's fine. It's so late. It must be your little girlfriend from Jin University sending you a message. Young people in love. I've been there too. Don't mind me. I glanced at it. Sure enough, it was a message from Lin Qingxue. Have you gotten home? So I told the truth. I'm already home. I'm chatting with someone right now. What's wrong? When Lin Qingxue saw this message, she immediately became furious. I finally let go of my last bit of pride and took the initiative to ask what he was doing, and this guy actually said he was chatting with someone else. He has time to chat with others, but no time to send me a message saying he got home? So after disappearing for 3 years, we're not even good friends anymore. Back when we used to be desk mates. Even just going to take a shower, he would send me a message to tell me. Men really do change. Was I just overthinking things? After letting out a soft snort, Lin Qingxue sent several messages in a row. Did I come at the wrong time? Then I won't chat anymore. You chat with her today. I'll come back tomorrow. That way, alternating like this won't seem too cold. What do you think? Good night. I'm going to sleep. Seeing this long message, suddenly sent by Lin Qingxue, I instantly felt a bit confused. What's going on? And what's with that tone? Seeing this, the Jiangwo quickly asked, "Did you argue with your girlfriend? Back when I was courting my wife, I always made her incredibly happy. If it's a relationship issue, you can consult this old man." And so, one dared to teach, and one dared to learn. I sent Lin Qingxue a message like this. "All right. Then go to sleep first. Turn on the AC in the dorm in summer. Make sure to cover yourself at night so you don't catch a cold. Good night, you little thing, I'll smother you." Meanwhile, when Lin Qingxue saw it, her expression instantly froze. She gritted her teeth and quickly typed, "Chu Yang, it's been 3 years since I hit you. Are you itching for a beating? I'll smother you, you little thing. I'll smother you, you bastard man." I was stunned. "Isn't it I'll smother you, you little thing?" After hesitating for a few seconds, I immediately sent a message asking her, "Isn't that how people say it online?" Lin Qingxue was truly furious. "That's from some silly meme, Chu Yang. Are you a caveman or what?" Li Qian in the dorm immediately looked over at Lin Qingxue with a gossipy gaze. "Could it be your Chu Yang?" Lin Qingxue clenched her phone tightly. "I've decided. I won't talk to him for at least 3 days," Li Qian said quietly. "I think at most 1 day." The Jiangwo looked at me, now standing there blankly. "So, did she happily go to sleep?" Yeah, she went to sleep." The next morning, Lin Qingxue, as an assistant counselor, sat on the playground, checking her phone from time to time. Li Qian, sitting beside her, quickly asked, "Lin Qingxue, do you have a man hidden in your phone? You check it every few minutes. What's going on?" Lin Qingxue instantly puffed her cheeks, her tone full of attitude. "It's all because of Chu Yang. This morning, I even sent him a good morning message. And now it's almost noon, and he still hasn't replied at all. Even though I said I wouldn't talk to him for 3 days, I didn't actually tell him that. I even posted a moment's update with a photo of summer military training, just waiting for him to message me first. He could at least ask how the training is going. Maybe I'd soften up and reply to him. Who knew I gave him the chance, and he still couldn't make use of it?" Li Qian quickly said. "Didn't you say yesterday you wouldn't talk to him for 3 days? Then can he at least send me a message?" Lin Qingxue pouted again. Seeing this, Li Qian couldn't help but reach out and pinch Lin Qingxue's delicate, baby-fat cheeks. She pleaded, "Qingxue, do you have to be this cute?" After thinking for a moment, she continued, "If he doesn't message you, then just ignore him. There are plenty of men in the world. If it doesn't work out, just switch. It's not like you lack men besides Chu Yang." Lin Qingxue pouted and tapped her phone again. Still no new messages. In the afternoon at the research base, dozens of top experts and professors from various fields gathered together. Among them, aside from a few exceptions, most had received an urgent summons and rushed over. Were urgently transferred directly to the Mobe research base and had no idea what had happened. Just as everyone was discussing among themselves, the Jiangwo finally arrived with Chu Yang and Wu Li, slowly entering the conference room. "Who is this kid? He's so young, yet he's already beside academician. Is he also part of the project?" Seeing Chu Yang appear, some people in the conference room were stunned. They didn't know Chu Yang's background. After all, the researchers working at the base were at least around 30 years old. As for them, some of the older ones were already in their 70s or 80s. The Jiangwo glanced around at everyone. "Everyone, please be quiet." His voice was somewhat stern, and instantly made everyone present fall silent. Even several other senior academicians of the Academy of Sciences looked calmly toward the Jiangwo. After clearing his throat, the Jiangwo continued, "There is a reason for gathering everyone here this time. But before that, everyone needs to sign a confidentiality agreement. After the agreements are signed, we'll discuss the rest." Immediately afterward, in front of each person, a confidential file envelope was distributed. After everyone opened the envelope, documents marked top secret instantly appeared before them. Top secret, 5-star confidential agreement. What kind of project is this? A 5-star confidentiality level? Since the founding of the country, there haven't been many like this. Being able to participate in such a major research project is a dream that many researchers could never achieve in a lifetime. After everyone finished signing the agreement, the Jiangwo then continued. Now that the confidentiality agreements are signed, let me introduce to everyone the project I'm about to announce. It is our country's regional propulsion device, design and development project. The one standing beside me, Chu Yang, is the lead person in charge of this project. Someone spoke up, academician. You're not joking, are you? A young man like this can really be in charge of this project? One after another, others also began to question. Exactly. If he was sent here just to gain experience, I think that's fine. But letting him be the main person in charge of this project, isn't that a bit too hasty? It's not that they didn't believe it, but this news was simply too unbelievable. A young man not even 20 years old, wanting to take charge of a 5-star, top-secret research project. How is that possible? The Jiangwo didn't say much. He just glanced at me. I immediately understood, cleared my throat, and slowly walked to the front of the crowd. Distinguished experts, professors, and academicians. I know I'm quite young. And I also know you all have doubts about why I'm part of this project. Whether you stay or leave, I, Chu Yang, won't stop you. I'll give everyone 3 minutes to decide whether to stay or leave. After 3 minutes, I'll explain the reason. Any doubts or questions, you can ask me directly then. The entire conference room instantly fell silent. Some people looked at Chu Yang with surprise. Regardless of his research ability, being able to speak so confidently in front of so many experts and professors, in terms of courage alone, he had already surpassed all young talents in the country. 3 minutes later, naturally, no one was willing to leave. After all, a 5-star top-secret project was an opportunity no one wanted to miss. Seeing this, I finally spoke slowly. The research on this regional propulsion engine was proposed by me, and I have already achieved some preliminary theoretical results and research data. Next, I will fully explain to everyone the research approach, as well as what each of you needs to work on and coordinate going forward. If there are questions, you can also raise them. Countless people exclaimed in amazement. It really is a regional propulsion device. Have we all grown old? Are young people nowadays this capable? After fully accepting this reality, everyone held a brief meeting. The meeting lasted nearly 6 hours, until after 2 a.m. Only then did I finish this meeting. During it, I focused on explaining the theoretical implementation of the regional propulsion device, and also answered questions raised by multiple experts and scholars. When the meeting ended, thunderous applause erupted, along with passionate cheers from the researchers, echoing throughout the entire conference room. These people were indeed getting old. But fortunately, China's research field has successors. Truly, each new generation surpasses the last. After saying goodbye to the experts, I walked to the secure storage box at the door and retrieved my phone. While turning it on, I returned to the dorm at the guest house. After turning it on, I saw the message sent by Lin Qingxue. It was sent around 11 p.m. Just a short good night message. After thinking for a few seconds, I smiled and replied, "Good night. Sweet dreams." The next second, Lin Qingxue instantly replied, "Oh well." Our busy man finally decided to reply. I paused slightly and replied, "You're awake?" Lin Qingxue immediately clenched her teeth. "Awake my foot. After that single good morning message today." Chu Yang didn't send her a single extra message. It made her feel restless and itchy inside. She sent a good night message, also hoping Chu Yang would reply. But she kept waiting, and waited until now. She took a deep breath, and after quickly calming herself down, Lin Qingxue finally replied, I'm not asleep. Just chatting with my roommate. Got a problem with that? No problem. I quickly sent several messages asking. Then, when are you planning to sleep? Don't know. Lin Qingxue pouted. After hesitating for a few seconds, she immediately sent another message asking about things at home. So busy, huh? So busy that in a whole day, you didn't even have time to send me a message. Yeah, pretty busy, I replied. In the morning, I was refining the materials. In the afternoon, I was receiving various experts and professors. At night, I had to hold a meeting for them. It was indeed quite hectic. That's great, Lin Qingxue quickly replied, then silently bit her lip. Since you're busy, then you might as well not message me at all. Just focus on your work. But in the end, she still didn't send what she really felt, and instead asked curiously, Last time I was too upset by you. I didn't get the chance to ask. Chu Yang, you disappeared without a word for 3 years. Shouldn't you give me an explanation? But after thinking it through carefully, she felt that asking like this might be a bit too eager. So she continued. Of course, if you think there's no need to explain to me, that's fine. We don't really have any relationship anyway. Chu Yang disappeared without a word for 3 years. This young lady, still being willing to message you properly now, already means you're lucky. You'd better properly explain to me why you left without saying goodbye 3 years ago. I hesitated for a moment, looking at Qingxue's message with regret. Can we not talk about this? Lin Qingxue was so annoyed she wanted to smash the bed, but she still calmed herself down and quickly replied, Oh, okay. Then let's leave it at that. I'm going to sleep first. After seeing this message, I quickly asked, Are you angry? Lin Qingxue let out a self-mocking laugh. This blockhead isn't completely hopeless after all. She replied, No. How would I dare be mad at you, Chu the busy man, if I make you angry, and you do it again? What if you disappear again, like 3 years ago? I was stunned, and quickly replied, I won't. 3 years ago, there really was a reason, but I promise, I'll never leave without a word again. I'm not anything to you. You don't need to say that to me. I typed back, Aren't we good friends? Lin Qingxue instantly replied, Just friends. Can it be something more? No. Lin Qingxue puffed up her cheeks in anger. After quickly sending that message, she helplessly rubbed her forehead. Hopeless, this guy is really hopeless. She had already made it so clear. And he still didn't get it. After letting out a soft sigh, Lin Qingxue quickly replied again, Forget it. I want to sleep. You should rest early too. Alright, friend. Then go to sleep. Good night, Lin Qingxue replied. Good night. In the following days, the two of them were like this, chatting only occasionally. I would send a good morning. Lin Qingxue would reply good morning. Lin Qingxue would send a good night. I would reply good night. Aside from that, there was no other communication. However, every time I saw a message from Lin Qingxue, it became a moment of relief during my busy research work, a rare moment of relaxation. 10 days later, the military training at Kyoto University was nearing its end, and the base was filled with enthusiastic applause. 10 days during these 10 days, they had work day and night in the research base, all for the construction of this model. As long as this model could run successfully, it would mean Chu Yang's theory was valid. Then today would be a groundbreaking day. Countless people began discussing in low voices. In my lifetime, to actually witness the possibility of regional propulsion is truly unbelievable. If the model can run completely, this will definitely be a major advancement in the global field of propulsion. This day will surely be recorded in history, but during this period, Chief Engineer Chu has truly worked hard. This is the first time I've seen someone so dedicated to research. As soon as this was said, everyone present turned their gaze towards Chu Yang. If 10 days ago, Chu Yang had convinced everyone here with his theoretical knowledge, then now, it was through Chu Yang's strong research charisma. I smiled at everyone and said, Everyone, don't rush to praise me yet. Let's prepare for the first ignition test. The Jianwo looked at me with concern. Chu Yang, Why don't you rest for a day and do the ignition test tomorrow? I shook my head and said, no need, I can still hold on. Let's proceed with the ignition test right away. The Jiangwo knew he couldn't change Chu Yang's mind. After sighing, he silently stepped aside. Soon, a researcher brought over a red ignition button. Chief Engineer Chu, you do the ignition. I took a deep breath. Just as I was about to press the button, I suddenly turned to look at the Jiangwo beside me. Academician, why don't you do it? I'm a bit nervous. The Jiangwo waved his hand directly. Are you still fussing over seniority with me? You're the chief designer. So, you press it. I smiled. Then I'll press it. Go ahead. Everyone can't wait anymore. I nodded. Then pressed the button in my hand. With a serious expression, everyone held their breath. And immediately after, the propulsion device model began operating at once. A powerful current surged into it. Throughout the entire research base, red lights began flashing. Continuous sounds reached everyone's ears. Ignition successful. Initializing warp engine chamber. Warp engine chamber activated successfully. Negative energy generation preheating complete. Laser emission detects negative energy presence. Initiating high-energy rapid particle collection program. Warp field successfully established. Current warp level detected 0.1. Test object deployment ready. With the final countdown, a 100 Jin metal sphere was dropped directly into the warp field. The iron ball, which should have fallen straight down the moment it entered the warp field, shot forward instead, and finally slammed heavily into a massive metal plate 100 meters away. Seeing this, everyone finally relaxed, and the entire base erupted. We succeeded. We succeeded. Warp propulsion is feasible. Warp propulsion is feasible. Countless people hugged each other with tears of joy. Within 5 years, at most 10 years, China will surely bring a real warp propulsion device onto the world stage. A display of China's brilliance. The Jiangwo's eyes turned red. He had spent his entire life working with engines. From the very beginning, watching China's engine technology grow from nothing. He had experienced almost all the hardships along the way. More than anyone else, he hoped that China could stand at the top of the world in aerospace. After the excitement of today, I slowly bowed slightly to everyone. Chu Yang would like to thank you all for your understanding. The rest of the journey will rely on you. But as I lowered my head slightly, I felt my head growing heavier and heavier. A bad feeling instantly rose in my heart. My body had been too overdrawn these days. I couldn't hold on anymore. My body subconsciously began to sway slightly. Chu Yang, what's wrong? The Jiangwo was the first to notice Chu Yang's condition. Because since this morning, he had already sensed something off about Chu Yang's state. But since the propulsion device model was about to be completed, he had been forcing himself to hold on. Now that the model test was over, the breath he had been holding finally dissipated. I gave a bitter smile. My physical condition really isn't great. It's only been 10 days, and I'm already like this. I roughly understood my current state. Just complete exhaustion. I just didn't know how many days I'd be unconscious. Hopefully not too long. Otherwise Lin Qingxue will worry again. Then I used the last bit of strength to glance at the Jiangwo. Looks like I'll have to trouble you again. The next second, I slowly closed my eyes, and my body uncontrollably tilted forward. Faintly, I heard the Jiangwo shouting loudly toward the door. Quick, someone, send him to the Mobei Military Hospital immediately, above Kyoto University. Four of China's most advanced fighter jets roared past. And at the center of the formation, a military transport aircraft flew steadily. Students who were resting all looked up at the blue sky, their expressions slightly stunned. What the hell? For fighter jets escorting, and that transport aircraft in the middle. Who could be on board? Or what kind of critical materials are being transported? Even fighter jets were deployed. What big event is happening? Some students even took out their phones to record. The previously easygoing drill instructors immediately stood up. Everyone put down your phones. No photos allowed. Delete all the photos you just took immediately. Amid waves of scolding, the chief instructor's voice came over the broadcast. All students, break time is over. Put down your phones. Break is over. Although it was still unclear why so many fighter jets and a transport aircraft were deployed at the same time, it was definitely something major. In other parts of Kyoto, it wasn't that no one captured the scene. But what was strange was, either their videos couldn't be sent at all, or after being sent, they were deleted within less than a minute. Lin Qingxue looked up at the fighter jets roaring across the sky. For some reason, her heart suddenly tightened. Li Qian beside her quickly noticed something was wrong. Qingxue, what's wrong? You don't look well. It's nothing, I just feel a bit unwell all of a sudden. Lin Qingxue shook her head weakly, then forced a smile to reassure Li Qian. It's okay. I'll be fine after a short rest. But her gaze remained fixed on the sky, watching the rapidly disappearing fighter jets. 3 days later, Kyoto Military Hospital VIP ward. After Chu Yang was sent to the central hospital, orders came from above immediately. All the top experts were urgently called in to conduct a joint consultation for Chu Yang, which made everyone extremely anxious. Only after it was confirmed that Chu Yang was just overly fatigued and needed rest did everyone finally breathe a sigh of relief. On the training ground of Kyoto University, Li Qian asked Lin Qingxue beside her, Qingxue, want some milk tea? No. Lin Qingxue seemed absent-minded, feeling annoyed, and had no appetite at all. What's wrong with you? Li Qian asked curiously. You've been distracted these past 3 days. What's going on? After snapping back, Li Qian smiled and asked, could it be because of Wang Shuji? I heard he plans to confess to you tonight at the welcome party. You're not troubled because of that, are you? That's not the main reason. Lin Qingxue sighed. Since 3 days ago, after Chu Yang sent a good morning, he seemed to have vanished. She sent him many messages, but didn't get a single reply. It was as if Chu Yang had disappeared again. At Kyoto Military General Hospital, while the senior academicians were arguing, I lay on the hospital bed, my fingers twitching slightly, then slowly opened my eyes. Glancing at the Jiangwo and Wang Weiming beside me, I weakly asked, my phone? Where's my phone? Zhao Chu, you're awake. The Jiangwo immediately jumped up from the sofa and rushed excitedly to Chu Yang's side, then shouted loudly toward the door. Doctor, come quickly, the patient is awake. I looked at the two excited men. Wasn't I just sleeping? There's no need to be this excited after waking up. Then I repeated it again, you two elders. Which one of you has time to help me get my phone? By the way, how many days was I unconscious this time? 3 days. The Jiangwo nodded repeatedly, walked to the table with Chu Yang's belongings, found the phone, and immediately handed it to Chu Yang. After taking it, I quickly turned on the screen. A series of messages instantly popped up in front of me. It was a long string of messages from Lin Qingxue. Good night. Did you not sleep all night yesterday? Where are you? Chu Yang. Are you planning to disappear again? Why aren't you replying? Chu Yang, I'll give you half an hour. If you still don't reply, I'll never talk to you again. Chu Yang, you jerk. I'm giving you one last chance, reply to me. Chu Yang, where on earth did you go? Chu Yang, I hate you. Then there were messages from the guys in the dorm. Third bureau, let me tell you some urgent news. In a couple of days at our faculty's welcome party, that sophomore vice president of the student union, is going to confess to Lin. Senior, are things at your home settled yet? Third bro is going to be. Someone's about to steal her away. Come back quickly. Then came the group messages in the class chat. At all members. Tonight is our department's welcome party. All students must use their admission tickets to enter the auditorium. Do not lose your tickets. After quickly reading through all these messages, I immediately looked up and shouted at the doctors who had just walked to the ward door. Can I be discharged today? What did you say? Before the doctors could react, the two academy presidents grew anxious. The Jianwo and Wang Weiming both looked at Chu Yang. Zhao Chu, didn't the doctor tell you to rest well? Why do you want to be discharged today? If it's for attending tonight's celebration banquet, we can have someone arrange a transfer from the hospital. It'll be the same for you. Or better yet, just don't go at all. The doctor also walked up to me, Mr. Chu. If you want to be discharged today, it's not impossible. But can you guarantee that your body can recover within this half day? Enough to function normally. I can guarantee it. I nodded firmly, then looked at the two presidents. What's the schedule for the celebration banquet? The banquet will be held at the Grand Hall, starting at 7 p.m. Around 7:30, the chief will come to give an award speech, and it will end at 8 p.m. Then we'll head to Jiangshanji State Guest House for dinner. I glanced again at the welcome party time on my phone. The welcome party starts at 8 p.m. So I continued asking, how long does it take to get from Jiangshanji to our school? Wang Weiman replied casually, it's very close, about 10 minutes. The Jianwo was immediately shocked. Zhao Chu, you're not planning to go back to school, are you? With your current condition, can you even manage that? I gave the Jianwo a firm look. Please help me up, you two. And help me get some food. After eating, I'll start doing recovery exercises. After attending tonight's celebration banquet, I won't be joining you for dinner afterward. Just arrange a car to take me back to school. The Jianwo was a bit puzzled. Why do you have to go back today? The doctor said you'll be fine after resting 2 or 3 days. So why rush these 2 or 3 days? I sighed helplessly. My home base is about to be stolen. The Jianwo nodded thoughtfully. I see. You've been cheated on. A few black lines appeared on my forehead, thinking that this old man is quite trendy. But all I could say, almost in tears, was, no, I haven't been cheated on. I just have something to do at school. The Jianwo quickly said, Zhao Chu. No need to explain, we understand. What do you want to eat for lunch? I didn't bother explaining anymore. Anything that fills me up is fine. The doctor chimed in from the side. But Mr. Chu just woke up. So our medical advice is, it's not suitable to eat anything too greasy for now. Alright, the Jianwo nodded repeatedly. Zhao Chu. Just wait, I'll go to the hospital cafeteria and get it for you. At this point, the doctors in the ward were a bit surprised. They all knew Chu Yang's identity must be important. But having an academician personally run errands to get food, that kind of treatment is truly rare. Meanwhile, I got out of bed, chatting with other patients in the hospital corridor, and while trying to move my limbs to regain strength. On Weibo, another earth-shattering event occurred. At 7 p.m., the Academy of Sciences will release major news. People's Daily will broadcast the press conference live in real time. TV stations will also simultaneously air the content of the press conference. Everyone is requested to follow it live. As soon as this news came out, Weibo instantly exploded. Holy shit, what on earth did the Academy of Sciences develop? You have to know, as an official news outlet, they always report only when something happens. They never hype things up in advance. This time something huge must be happening. Time passed, second by second. As it approached 6:30 p.m., I changed into a black suit in the hospital room. After all, it was an important occasion. A suit was more formal. The Jianwo and Wang Weiman, who had been waiting at the door, saw Chu Yang come out after putting on the suit. Both of them were stunned. The Jianwo quickly said, Zhao Chu, this is the first time we've seen you in a suit. Not bad. You actually look quite decent. only a tiny bit worse than me in my younger days. Wang Wyman laughed. You look quite energetic. After all, you're the main character today. Even if you don't appear on TV in the end, you can still leave a good impression in front of the chief. After all, Chu Yang's identity is still confidential. Whether receiving awards or honors, they are all given privately within the system. No media will capture Chu Yang's full face or even side profile. At most, just a silhouette. I nodded slightly. I naturally understood what Wang Wyman meant. And I fully agreed. After all, dedicating myself to research was never for fame or profit. After chatting a bit more, the three of us soon left the military general hospital and got into the black red flag car prepared at the entrance. In just over 10 minutes, the car stopped at the entrance of Jiangshan Pavilion. Security was extremely tight. Personnel in black suits handled security. After checking Chu Yang and the others' invitation letters, they allowed the three of them to enter. After arriving at the top floor hall of Jiangshan Pavilion, the atmosphere inside was extremely serious. Various news media had already set up their camera tripods, quietly waiting for the press conference to begin. Nearly 100 white chairs were arranged around the hall. Each seat had a name placed on it. Wang Wyman and the Jiangwo's nameplates were placed at the very front. Chu Yang was also in the front row, but his seat was off to the side. Seeing the seating arrangement, I immediately asked Elder Wang, Elder is it appropriate for my name to be placed here? Because in this row are all the top academicians of the Academy of Sciences. What's inappropriate about it? Wang Wyman said immediately. You are qualified to sit in this row with us. Besides, for this event, it's already a pity that you can't show your face. This seat absolutely cannot be changed. And don't worry, all the media present are internal outlets. They've already been informed. No camera will focus on you. At most, just your silhouette. After saying that, Wang Wyman sighed again. Back in our time, we all worked under anonymity, researching tirelessly. But times are different now. When the time is right, the name Chu Yang will surely become renowned across the global scientific community. This is the confidence brought by the nation's rise. And within that confidence, there is a contribution from Chu Yang. I hesitated for a few seconds, but in the end, I still sat in that seat. Soon, after everyone had taken their seats, the countdown to the Academy's press conference entered its final stage. 5 minutes left inside the live stream. Nearly 1 million viewers had already joined. At the same time, in the grand auditorium of Kyoto University, both freshmen and upperclassmen gathered together tonight, seated row by row. Throughout the auditorium, Lin Qingxue was standing backstage in the lounge. Tonight, she was wearing a stunning red long dress. Her long black hair was slightly curled in waves. A pair of sparkling silver earrings hung by her ears, paired with the light red lipstick on her lips. She looked full of elegance. Standing not far from Lin Qingxue was also Wang Shuji, wearing a black suit. At this moment, he was adjusting his tie. After fixing his tie, Wang Shuji immediately walked up to Lin Qingxue with a smile. How is it, class monitor? Nervous? I'm fine, Lin Qingxue replied casually. Then she sat down in the lounge, on her own chair, and casually started playing with her phone. Seeing this, Wang Shuji was slightly stunned, but the next moment, his gaze became even more determined. Tonight, he had to succeed. Zhu Pengfei and the others sat in the auditorium seats. The three roommates whispered among themselves. Hey, do you think third bro will be late tonight? He said he'd come to the party tonight. Probably not. He just texted saying he's already on the way. He'll definitely make it to campus before 8:30. That's good. Meanwhile, on the academy's side, time passed second by second. When Beijing time struck exactly 7 p.m. In the live stream, everyone, along with countless viewers in front of their TVs, who had been waiting for the press conference, saw the live broadcast begin instantly. On TV screens as well, the press conference appeared. The first thing that came into view was a white-haired man. This was Wang Bin, the current spokesperson of the press administration. Good evening, viewers and media friends. Welcome to this Academy of Sciences press conference. The next second, countless flashes lit up. Various cameras furiously captured photos of Wang Bin speaking. This press conference has only one topic. That is regarding a major breakthrough invention by the Academy in our country, led by academician Wang Wyman. A research team has worked on it for 3 years. After overcoming layer upon layer of obstacles and difficulties, our country has finally succeeded in breaking through nanometer-level photolithography technology. The emergence of nanometer precision photolithography technology will greatly enhance our country's technological development and also represents that our research teams have broken through the technological barriers imposed by many foreign tech giants. As soon as Wang Bin finished speaking, everyone present was stunned. In the live stream, the barrage of comments surged wildly. Oh my God! Our country actually has nanometer chips now. We've truly reached world-leading levels. Does that mean the phones we use in the future can all be equipped with domestic nanometer chips? The gaming speed would be insanely fast. After finishing that long speech on stage, Wang Bin looked up at everyone and smiled. Next, let us invite President Wang Wyman of the Academy to come on stage personally to present to us the domestically developed nanometer photolithography chip, named Qingxue 1, including its specific parameters and performance data. On the other side of the Pacific, inside a lavishly decorated building in the United States, the head of the intelligence agency was standing beside the president's office, and in front of them, the Academy's press conference was streaming on a Mac computer. Even though they themselves had only just developed their own photolithography chips, yet China had already secretly developed nanometer precision photolithography chips, disrupting all of their prior strategic plans toward China, turning them from the proactive side completely into the passive one. The president quickly flipped through a stack of documents, then put them down, frowning as he looked at the director. Why are you showing me information about a 20-year-old kid? The director immediately began explaining. It's like this. This is intelligence brought back by our overseas team. This young man named Chu Yang happened to disappear 3 years ago. I mobilized almost all intelligence networks over there, yet found no information about this young man. Until about a month ago, he reappeared in the public eye. And most importantly, just 1 month after he disappeared, China announced that nanometer precision photolithography had been achieved. So we have reason to suspect that this young man was definitely involved in the research of nanometer photolithography and may have been responsible for key steps. The president still found it hard to believe. Just a kid like that. The director quickly said, Mr. President, we must accept one reality. Aside from our country, other nations may also produce exceptionally gifted geniuses. A cold glint appeared in the president's eyes. Then go investigate. If it really is him, what to do? You know what I mean. Meanwhile, at Jiangshan Pavilion, after Wang Wyman finished introducing the chip, the entire internet erupted. Damn, aren't these specs ridiculously insane? I suspect the Academy president simplified it so we could understand. Honestly, this probably isn't even the chip's full potential. At the end of the speech, Wang Wyman picked up the microphone again, glancing at Chu Yang sitting in the corner, before slowly speaking at the end. What I want to say is, although I am the main person in charge of this project, there are 7 other chief designers involved in this research. However, due to confidentiality regulations, we cannot directly reveal the name of this outstanding researcher. Even their photo will not appear on camera. But it was he who, 3 years ago, at an age when he should have been at his peak, resolutely left his hometown and led our research team to overcome one challenge after another. Only then did we finally achieve our own photolithography technology. And only then did we obtain the initial version of the King Long 1 chip. He is the truly deserving hero of our nation. Here, as the president of the Academy, I sincerely thank this outstanding researcher. And I also sincerely thank all those who have remained hidden behind the scenes, working silently, many other scientific researchers. Thank them for their tremendous contributions to our nation's scientific endeavors. The honor we stand here with today belongs to them. As soon as Wang Wyman said this, the live stream comments started flooding in again rapidly. What does that mean? The person who developed the photolithography tech must be someone else. 3 years of silence, and they will continue to remain anonymous. They are the real stars we should admire. Truly, salute to those anonymous researchers. With the highest respect. Nothing more to say. Respect to all scientific researchers. One comment read, scrolling across everyone's screen. No regrets joining this nation in this life. In the next life, I'll still be here. The next second, countless identical comments flooded the live stream. Soon, the press conference ended. Simple and direct, without too much unnecessary wording. Various internal media quickly packed up their equipment and left the venue. They rushed back to write their reports. Meanwhile, other attendees headed to the banquet hall of Jiangshan Pavilion to attend this internal celebration banquet. Wang Wyman walked up to Chu Yang. Zhao Chu, let's go. The chief is already waiting for you in his office. I was stunned for a few seconds. My heart started racing uncontrollably. I had spent 3 years at the research base and had met quite a few high-level leaders, but most of them were in the scientific field. Meeting the chief, this was the first time. The next second, I smiled and nodded, then followed Wang Wyman out of the banquet hall, arriving at an office on the top floor of Jiangshan Pavilion. Inside, this was one of the chief's temporary offices in the capital. Inside the spacious room, the floor was covered with a bright red carpet, but the furnishings were very simple. A tall bookshelf, a desk, and an old sofa set for receiving guests. At this moment, the elderly man was sitting beside his desk, and in front of him lay a red certificate of honor and an exquisite small box made of sandalwood. When Wang Wyman brought Chu Yang into the room, the old man slowly stood up from his chair. Upon seeing how young Chu Yang was, he was briefly taken aback, but soon smiled kindly. He walked over and shook Chu Yang's hand. Academician Chu, seeing you in person truly lives up to the reputation. The future of our nation's scientific community will depend on young people like you to carry it forward. It wasn't like he hadn't seen Chu Yang's profile before, but seeing him in person, he truly looked very young, without exaggeration. Within the academy, those whose scientific achievements surpass Chu Yang could be counted on one hand. That's too much praise. I nodded slightly. I've only done what any citizen of our country should do. The old man laughed. Well said, what a citizen should do. This time, you've rendered great service to our country. The old man let go of Chu Yang's hand and said with a smile, your 1 nanometer lithography technology has truly solved a huge problem for us. From now on, in the field of chips, our country will no longer have to rely on other nations. This is all thanks to you. I smiled modestly. As for lithography technology, I only provided the theoretical framework. The real credit belongs to the entire research team. Without them, I couldn't have done it alone. You're just a modest. The old man laughed. Then he returned to his desk. His expression gradually turned serious. Comrade Chu Yang, next, on behalf of the Academy, I will announce your reward. My expression instantly became solemn, regarding Comrade Chu Yang as the chief designer, who worked tirelessly for 3 years, leading our national research team to break through 1 nanometer lithography technology and making great contributions to the country. We hereby award Comrade Chu Yang the nation's highest science and technology award, and exceptionally promote him to senior academician of the academy. The old man slowly walked up to Chu Yang and handed the certificate of honor to him. Zhao Chu, accept it. This honor is well deserved. I nodded firmly and respectfully accepted the certificate with both hands. Then the old man returned to the desk and picked up a medal from the box, continuing seriously, additionally, in recognition of Comrade Chu Yang's outstanding contributions, on behalf of the organization, we hereby award you the National Scholar Medal. We hope you will continue to strive forward and lead our nation's scientific endeavors to even greater heights. With that, the old man slowly pinned the red medal onto Chu Yang's left chest, then helped straighten his clothes. Only then did the old man look at Chu Yang earnestly and say, Zhao Chu, this time, the award ceremony has been kept low-key for you. When the right time comes, I will personally present your award in front of the whole nation. I nodded solemnly. After saying goodbye, I left the top floor of Jiangshan Pavilion. In the corridor, I raised my hand and glanced at my phone. It was only a little past 8:10. Wang Weiman looked at me and smiled. Zhao Chu, are you really not staying to finish the celebration banquet with us? You are the key figure of this major project. Old Wang, you know me. I don't really like these social occasions. You all just enjoy the meal. I gave a wry smile, then asked, has the car been arranged for me? I'm heading back to school. It's already prepared. Wang Weiman immediately smiled. I'll have someone take you straight to your university auditorium. Take it easy tonight. Her confession might not succeed. Don't act impulsively out of anger. My phone is on 24/7. If anything happens, just call me directly. I scratched the back of my head. I forgot. You already knew. Of course. Wang Weiman chuckled. We old folks care about your research achievements, but we also care about your personal life. You're at the right age now. It's time you started dating. That girl from Qing University is quite good, and she's your high school classmate. You should cherish the opportunity. Then Wang Weiman urged, all right. Since you're leaving, go ahead. Next time we meet, bring your girlfriend along. Let us old men take a look. Of course, I nodded firmly, then quickly left Jiangshan Pavilion. After getting into the black sedan waiting outside, the car immediately drove quickly toward Capital University. Inside the grand auditorium of Qingcheng University, Zhu Pengfei was getting restless. What's going on with Lao San? Didn't he say he was already on the way? The event has already started. Why isn't he here yet? But the next moment, Wang Lei looked up and said, Lao San just replied in the dorm group chat. He said he's on the way. He'll definitely be here within 10 minutes. Only then did Zhu Pengfei breathe a sigh of relief. 10 minutes. That's fine. But just then, Wang Lei couldn't help but add, what's going on here? Look, the counselor just sent a message in the class group. The girl from our class who was supposed to perform suddenly felt unwell. She's in so much pain she went to the infirmary. She probably can't go on stage. They're asking if anyone in the group can play piano. Do any of you know how? Zhu Pengfei and Zhang Mingyang both shook their heads. We really don't. The next second, Chu Yang suddenly replied in the class group. I can play, I can go up instead. Right after that, I sent another message in the dorm group. How long until our class performance starts? Zhu Pengfei thought for a moment and replied, about half an hour. Got it, I'll be there soon. I opened the car door, thanked the driver, and rushed straight to the auditorium entrance. When they saw Chu Yang, several student union members at the entrance were slightly stunned, then stopped Chu Yang at the door. Excuse me, which department are you from? Tonight, this is the welcome party for the Finance Institute. If you don't have an invitation, you can't enter. I'm from Finance Class 1. I quickly replied, but as for the invitation, I really didn't have it. After thinking quickly for a few seconds, I said, my invitation is in the dorm. Can you make an exception? One of the girls' eyes lit up. She smiled at me, Junior. How can you prove that you're from our institute tonight? Do you have a student ID? Yes, I nodded quickly. And send a message, asking Ju Pengfei and the others to come pick me up at the entrance. Then I immediately opened my photo gallery and pulled up a picture of my student ID. The girl took my phone and carefully compared it. After checking the photo on the ID against me, she said softly, "CHU Yang, right? You look even better in person. All right. You can go in, thanks." I nodded slightly, then quickly rushed into the auditorium. Nearby, a few boys asked the girl, "Leader, you just let him in like that?" "What else?" The girl curled her lips casually, then smiled. "That guy is so handsome. Why didn't we notice him during military training? Our finance institute actually has such a handsome guy. Think of a way for me. I want his contact info tonight." To be fair, CHU Yang in a suit, with that refined face, was simply too handsome. When Ju Pengfei and the others saw CHU Yang in a suit, they immediately exclaimed, "Damn, Lao San, you finally made it back." At the auditorium entrance, Jiangming Yang looked CHU Yang up and down. "Not bad, but where did you get that suit? After putting it on, you actually look quite decent. Still just a tiny bit worse than me though." As for CHU Yang, the national medal pinned on his clothes was completely ignored. After all, a suit having a brooch is normal. I didn't have time to chat with them. I directly asked, "Where is Lin Qingxue now?" Wang Lei replied casually, "Where else? She's in the backstage lounge of the auditorium." My tone was a bit anxious. "Take me to her." "We can't go," Ju Pengfei said helplessly. "Only performers are allowed backstage." "Wait," Jiangming Yang chuckled. "We can't, but CHU Yang can. Isn't he now the one playing the piano piece for our class?" "Lao San, I didn't expect you to have learned piano." Ju Pengfei clapped his hands instantly. "Then what are we waiting for? Let's go, let's go." In the lounge, Jiangming Yang walked up to the senior in charge of the program schedule and said with a smile, "Senior, I'm really sorry, but could you let us change the piece?" The senior immediately became a bit impatient. "What's going on with you guys? You suddenly changed performers right before the show, and now you want to change the piece too? If every class acted like yours, would this freshman welcome party even go on?" "Senior, we're really sorry." Jiangming Yang lowered his head repeatedly and smiled apologetically. "It's mainly because that piece, the student we just switched in, isn't very familiar with it yet. Please just let us change it." The senior said coldly, "Where is the one you switched in? Have him come talk to me himself." Jiangming Yang scratched the back of his head. "Our third roommate isn't very good at talking. He's a bit shy. He's just standing right here. Senior, please be a little accommodating." The senior glanced at CHU Yang. Her eyes instantly lit up. "The boy who's going to play the piano is him." After hesitating for a few seconds, she slowly said, "Maiden's Prayer. I know this piece too. It expresses a young girl's longing for beautiful fantasies." "This piece, is he playing it for his girlfriend?" Jiangming Yang was stunned for a moment, his eyes darting quickly. A few seconds later, he immediately smiled. "No. How could that be? Senior, our third roommate from elementary school until now, let alone dating. He hasn't even held a girl's hand before." "I see." The senior slowly smiled. "I agreed to the request to change the piece, but I'm taking a risk by doing this. In exchange, you have to do me a small favor." Jiangming Yang nodded. "Go ahead. After the welcome party ends, I want his contact information." Jiangming Yang made an okay gesture. "No problem." After Jiangming Yang came back, Ju Pengfei and the others immediately asked curiously, "Got it done?" Jiangming Yang smiled proudly. "Of course. When Brother Zhang steps in, handling a senior is a piece of cake." Ju Pengfei asked, "How did you manage it?" Jiangming Yang curled his lips. "Made a deal. That senior has taken a liking to our third roommate. As an exchange, after the show ends, I have to give her our third roommate's contact info. Ju Pengfei and Wang Lei looked at Chu Yang in surprise. Damn, is that really okay? But Zhang Ming Yang then asked, third bro, why did you insist on choosing this piece? I slowly spoke, because I once promised someone that during our high school sports meets performance, I would play it for her. But before the performance even started, I transferred schools. Zhang Ming Yang pondered. That person is Lin Qingxue, Senior Lin? I nodded yes. Half an hour passed quickly. Lin Qingxue and Wang Zhu Ji also received the revised cue cards. Next, please welcome Class 1 of the Finance Department. Holding the new script and preparing to announce, Lin Qingxue glanced at the name written on the card and suddenly froze in place. Her mind went completely blank at that moment. Wang Shuji glanced at Lin Qingxue from the corner of his eye. Class monitor. What's wrong? Lin Qingxue took a deep breath, shook her head, her voice trembling slightly. Next, please welcome student Chu Yang from Class 1 of the Finance Department to bring us a piano performance. Maiden's prayer. As soon as her words fell, staff from the student union backstage stepped forward and moved a piano from beside the stage to one side of the stage. The senior in charge backstage immediately walked over to them. All right, Junior Chu, it's your turn to go on stage. As she spoke, the senior even smiled at me and made a cheering gesture. You've got this. I nodded slightly. Then I slowly stepped out from the backstage lounge and walked up the steps one by one onto the stage. My gaze deeply swept across Lin Qingxue, who stood on the opposite side of the stage with a blank expression. Only then did I quickly walk to the front of the audience. After giving a slight bow, I sat down on the bench beside the piano. The spotlight above the stage shone directly on me, and on the big screen at the back of the stage, the camera captured my profile. The girls in the audience immediately cheered. Girls, look at that guy on stage. He's so handsome. He's also a freshman from our university. He's way too handsome. Oh my God. Within 3 minutes, I want all the information about this man. At this moment, Chu Yang's gentle piano melody slowly reached everyone's ears. At one side of the stage, Wang Shuji noticed Lin Qingxue's emotional change and quickly asked, Class monitor, what's wrong? Ever since this freshman named Chu Yang went on stage, he had noticed something was off with Lin Qingxue. Lin Qingxue shook her head. It's nothing. She slightly raised her head, and her gaze immediately met mine. Instinctively, Lin Qingxue's eyes began to avoid mine. I sighed softly in my heart, but slowly withdrew my gaze and focused on playing the piano until the piece came to an end. I stood up slightly and walked to the center of the stage and gave a slight bow to the audience. Then I stood at one side of the stage and took one last deep look at Lin Qingxue before slowly walking off the stage. Lin Qingxue quickly composed herself and went on stage together with Wang Shuji to announce the next performance. After finishing, she looked at Wang Shuji and said, I have something to do. I'm going backstage. If I don't come back in time, you can handle the next announcement alone. After saying that, Lin Qingxue stepped in her red high heels, dragging her bright red, long dress, and quickly chased after Chu Yang. As soon as Lin Qingxue walked from the stage into the lounge, her right hand was grabbed by me. Come out with me for a moment. Lin Qingxue did not struggle, and expressionlessly was pulled by me into the hallway outside the lounge. As soon as the lounge door closed, Lin Qingxue suddenly shook her hand free, breaking away from my grip. She looked at me coldly. Chu Yang, have you had enough? You disappeared without a word 3 days ago, and now you suddenly show up again, even going on stage to perform. Why did you drag me out here? Do you think this is fun? Or are you here to see how miserable I've been these past 2 days? Qingxue, I looked a bit guilty, but I didn't know how to explain. I couldn't exactly say I've been unconscious in the hospital for 3 days. What do you mean, Qingxue? Lin Qingxue let out a cold laugh. Chu Yang. I admit that in high school, I did like you, even at the start of school. When I found out you weren't dead, I was really happy, because I still had feelings for you. That's why early in the morning, I rushed to wait for you outside the boys' dormitory. But that's not a reason for you to toy with me again and again. The last time you disappeared without a word, I didn't even ask for an explanation, but now you've disappeared again for 3 days without a word. What were you doing? You didn't answer calls. You didn't reply to messages. Do you really think just because I like you, you can do whatever you want of me? Qingxue, I really didn't do it on purpose. I quickly tried to explain. There was a reason I didn't reply to your messages these 3 days. I really didn't mean it. And I came to Jingsheng University because of you. Please give me one more chance. I promise, I'll never disappear without a reason again. Lin Qingxue let out a cold laugh. Is that your explanation? My voice faltered slightly as I replied. I really ran into some trouble at the time. Then say it. What exactly was the reason? Even if you were busy, it's not like you couldn't send even one message, right? I sighed. I can't say it. Lin Qingxue was completely disappointed. Forget it. You don't need to explain anymore. Chu Yang. I don't care why you suddenly disappeared 3 years ago, or why you've come to Jingda now. Whatever the reason is, I don't care anymore. These past 3 days, I've thought it through. If you want to reply or not reply, go wherever you want. Live however freely you like. From now on, your life has nothing to do with me. That way, I won't have to keep worrying about when you might disappear again without a word. I'm already exhausted. Chu Yang. I won't like you anymore. By the end, Lin Qingxue was almost shouting. Let's end things here. We'll go our separate ways. From now on, let's just act like strangers. As soon as she finished speaking, Lin Qingxue walked past me expressionlessly and quickly pushed open the back door of the lounge, striding back inside, drawing everyone's attention. Then Lin Qingxue returned to the side of the stage. A crystal tear quietly slid down from her beautiful eyes. But soon, she wiped the tear away. After taking a deep breath, she suppressed the sorrow in her heart and forced a faint smile onto her face. That emotionless passing by was all an act. But the story could only end here. Perhaps only after letting go completely. Would she no longer have to worry about when Chu Yang might disappear again? Her youth had come to an end. I watched Lin Qingxue's departing figure, wanting to call her back, but after hesitating for a long time, I silently turned and left the backstage corridor. After messaging Ju Pengfei to ask for our class's location, I returned to my class's seating area. As soon as I sat down, Ju Pengfei and the others leaned in and asked gossipingly, "Third bro, did your confession to Lin Qingxue succeed?" I froze for a moment. Confession? What confession? Weren't you performing this time? Just to go backstage and confess to Lin Qingxue? No, I shook my head. What do you mean? Did the confession fail? She got angry because I didn't reply to her messages for 3 days. That's why. Zhang Yang nodded thoughtfully. There's a saying online. If you don't reply to messages for 3 days, it's basically an automatic breakup. You haven't even won her over yet, and you already ignored her messages for 3 days. No wonder she's angry. Ju Pengfei asked, "So, third bro, what happened to you these 3 days? You suddenly disappeared." I hesitated for a few seconds, then suddenly shrugged it off. Forget it. What's past is past. Let's just enjoy the show. Confidentiality regulations state that what I did was destined not to be told to unrelated people. Zhang Yang patted my shoulder comfortingly. It's fine. She's just angry. As long as she doesn't accept that guy Wang QG's confession tonight, then you'll still have a chance in the future. At least she's still willing to get angry at you. If she doesn't even get angry at you anymore, then you're really done for. Look at you, Ju Pengfei glared at Wang Shuji. You just said she hasn't accepted Wang Shuji's confession. That's why Chu Yang still has a chance. But what if she accepts his confession tonight? That's fine too. Zhang Ming Yang replied quickly. Even marriages can end in divorce, let alone just accepting a confession. As long as you swing the hoe well, there's no corner you can't dig into. I smiled, a bit helpless. I'm fine. Let's just leave it at that. We'll deal with the future when it comes. That's the spirit. Zhu Pengfei nodded repeatedly. Since you're back, our class arranged something tonight. We're all going to KTV together. The private room is already booked. Let's go sing and have some drinks tonight. There's nothing you can't get over. I thought for a few seconds and finally nodded okay. But I won't drink. My stomach hasn't been feeling well these past couple of days. I'll just go with you guys and sit for a bit and get to know everyone. Otherwise, after being in school this long, it'd be awkward not knowing my classmates. After all, in the future, if there aren't any major projects, I'll probably be staying at school most of the time. So getting to know my classmates is necessary. On the stage, Wang Shuji quickly walked up to Lin Qingxue and asked worriedly, "Class monitor, what's wrong? Did something happen?" "Nothing." Lin Qingxue shook her head expressionlessly and then ignored Wang Shuji. Her eyes unfocused as she looked at the stage, at the other performers. She had also recognized the piano piece Chu Yang played, but the piece that had been delayed for 3 years. Now, hearing it held no meaning anymore. The welcome party lasted only 2 hours. After the final performance ended, Lin Qingxue and Wang Kaiyuji went on stage together to deliver the closing remarks. But after the closing speech ended, just as everyone was about to leave, perhaps because Wang Shuji had arranged it beforehand, the stage spotlight suddenly shone on Wang Kaiyuji. Immediately after, a student at the side of the stage brought over a bouquet of roses and handed it to Wang Kaiyuji. Seeing this on the big screen, students who were about to leave all sat back down. With expressions full of curiosity, Wang Kaiyuji picked up the microphone and looked at the audience. "Sorry to take a few minutes of your time. I hope everyone can witness this moment for me." As he spoke, he raised the bouquet in his hands and presented it to Lin Qingxue and said slowly, "Lin Qingxue, from the first moment I saw you in freshman year, I fell deeply in love with you. Now, in front of the entire college, I confess to you, I've liked you for a year and pursued you for a year. I want to know what the world looks like through your eyes. I don't know when it started, but I realized I can't live without you. So today, I hope you can give me a chance. A chance for me to stand by your side openly and be with you." As soon as he finished speaking, the entire auditorium fell into silence. The next second, the crowd below burst into discussion. "Damn, confessing in front of the whole college. That's so romantic. Romantic. I think it feels a bit like moral pressure. No wonder she ignored him for a whole year. Isn't this putting her on the spot?" Lin Qingxue is the campus beauty of Jingda. But I heard that guy on stage really has been chasing her for a year. And his family background isn't bad either. Could she actually agree? Zhang Ming Yang was the first to curse. "This guy is such a jerk." In front of so many people, whether she agrees or not. Then he looked at me, "Third bro. Say the word, should we go up and mess him up? I really can't stand guys like that." But before I could speak, Lin Qingxue directly said to Wang Shuji, "I'm sorry. I know accepting your confession is what you're hoping for. But from me, if I want to be with someone, I have to truly, deeply like them. But unfortunately, I can't like you the way you like me. So I can't accept." After saying that, Lin Qingxue's expression gradually turned cold. "And Wang Shuji, I've already made it very clear to you. I don't like you. So this time is the last time. There won't be a next time." Her voice wasn't loud, but because she was holding a microphone, it echoed throughout the entire auditorium. After finishing, Lin Qingxue turned and left without hesitation. Zhu Pengfei clicked his tongue. Damn. This guy is unbelievable. She already made it clear she doesn't like him. And he still keeps pestering her. I took a deep breath and slowly said, all right. The party's over. Let's go back to the dorm, shower, and change clothes. Aren't we going to KTV later? Yeah, let's go. Zhang Mingyang and the others nodded repeatedly. I raised my head again and glanced at Lin Qingxue's departing figure. After letting out a soft sigh, I followed Zhu Pengfei and the others with a firm gaze and left. Love and ambition are not in conflict. I wouldn't give up so easily. On the main campus road, Li Qian stood beside Lin Qingxue, looking at her. Li Qian said in surprise, Qingxue, the way you rejected Wang Shuji just now was so ruthless. But poor Wang, he got rejected again. Are we really just leaving like this? Why don't you just become his girlfriend? Lin Qingxue rolled her eyes at Li Qian. I just don't like him. He insisted on confessing in front of so many people. What else could I do? Not liking him is not liking him. No matter how touched I might feel, it still won't be love. Since he dared to confess so openly, in front of so many people, then he should be prepared for rejection. I'm not going to indulge that behavior. Li Qian nodded and continued, then let's talk about something else. That junior Chu Yang just now. Did he talk to you backstage? What happened between you two? Lin Qingxue's expression instantly turned cold. Don't mention him. I have nothing to do with him anymore. In my heart, he already died 3 years ago. Li Qian hesitated for a few seconds. She could tell that Lin Qingxue's mood was completely off. Especially when Chu Yang was mentioned. It felt like she could explode at any moment. Then let's talk about something else. After giving an awkward smile, Li Qian raised the phone in her hand and showed the screen to Lin Qingxue. Look at this news online. Our National Research Institute has developed nanometer-level photonic technology and even produced nanometer-level chips. I'm definitely supporting domestic tech this time. Not interested. Lin Qingxue was in a very low mood. She only glanced casually at the phone screen and turned her head away. But the next second, she suddenly turned back and snatched the phone from Li Qian. Wait, let me take a closer look. As she spoke, Lin Qingxue stared at the phone screen. At an image posted on Weibo, a photo from the Wake Institute press conference. She zoomed in and examined it carefully. Li Qian asked curiously, it's just a press conference photo. What's so interesting about it? But Lin Qingxue froze. This was taken with Chu Yang in it. Even though it's only his back, that seat at the very edge of the front row, the clothes he's wearing, and that silhouette, they're exactly the same as Chu Yang. She might be mistaken about other things, but Chu Yang's back, she would never mistake. Then she recalled just now the badge Chu Yang was wearing on his chest. At first, she didn't think much of it, but after seeing this photo of his back, a bold thought suddenly appeared in her mind. Chu Yang's disappearance. Could it be because he went to attend this conference?